Welcome to the 4205 cast. Kings are coming at you live, but you'll hear us on tape delay. Today I have with me a whole bunch of people here that are remote, so
everybody in the world is sick!
Again?
No! Hey guys, remember this? The Brady Bunch. The Brady
Bunch. Camera like, wait, which camera am I? Camera 1 camera 2?
Yeah, that thing again. I'm not doing it.
Oh my god, please no.
Hey guys.
Hey. Just introduce ourselves or something. I don't know.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey.
Chris, say your name.
I'm Joe.
Yep, there it is. Joe,
Theo.
Chris, yeah, and Chris.
All right, I'm Andre. Cool. We managed to get through it.
That went about as well as I expected.
Oh, as I remember.
I went perfectly, come on.
We would actively celebrate when we actually got it right.
So we celebrate very seldomly. Got it.
Exactly, which means we did it like twice.
Theo,
Yes.
is the floor underneath your couch luminescent?
Yes, I put LED lights under my couch.
That's so cool.
Light emitting diode lights.
Right. So Kayla thinks it's the dumbest thing ever. She's like, you're ridiculous for putting lights under your couch. I'm like, yeah, but everybody comes in here and they're like, this is so cool.
Yeah,
it is cool.
Yeah.
To you.
That's probably it sounds like a man thing.
Oh yeah, it's
Not to
100%.
Not to be confused with the comic book character, man thing.
Correct.
But yes,
I'm sorry.
yeah, LED lights everywhere. Let's go.
Hell yeah. LEDs are cool. That's just
LEDs
the fact of
cool.
life.
Yeah.
It's fact of
She
life.
put some up in her office now, and
That's not cool.
and now it's cool all of a sudden.
LEDs not in the office are not cool. When? Since when?
Don't
She
put it up
thought
in
it
the
was.
office.
Why not?
No.
Yeah, why not?
I'm in my office right now. What are you talking about?
Exactly.
So, that's your office?
Yeah,
All right, forget it. Don't put it up.
Yeah, the
Take it
home
off.
the home orifice.
Take
Home office.
Oh my god.
Off
All
the
right,
rails
guys.
immediately.
I think that's good enough.
Yeah,
I feel like everybody's greased up.
I appreciate I love our opening banter. It's
I'm
always my
perfectly
favorite part.
I'm perfectly exfoliated. I spent an hour in a flotation tank today.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was like a aqua therapy kind of thing.
Did you? Was it a deprivation tank?
Something
Like
no, it was like no, it was
sensory deprivation?
not quite like that, but it was like I was floating in like water, the warm water with an Epsom salt solution and like new age music playing.
Dude, that's so dope.
It was like lights out completely. It was there for an hour.
I seriously thought you were talking about your pool, and I was like, it's way too cold for that.
It was warm water. I feel so exfoliated.
Nice.
Yeah, my
What
skin has
brought
never
that
felt
on?
so good. That was a Christmas gift for.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
You just floated in water for an hour, and that was it.
Yep.
Hey, man, that can do a lot.
The camera.
Yeah, I had to
Whatever.
fix it. Like, my frame rate was dropping.
Oh,
We know how he feels about that, folks.
Yes, I do. I don't know what's causing that. It's driving me nuts.
Okay.
right. Well, we have gathered here today to talk about
This thing
the
called life-
games.
Oh, okay.
Video games. We still play those, right?
All the time.
What a
every day.
novel idea!
I don't think I've played more games in any point in my life than this past.
Yeah, well, Theo, you're
2 months.
not. Yeah, you're not in school right now,
I'm
right?
not in school. I work close to home now. I've been on vacation the last 2 weeks, so yeah, every wicked moment has been like just playing games.
Oh, yeah, it feels good, right?
It feels very good.
Yeah.
That's feel
And I
nice
have
when you have time.
chores to do, and I'm like, wait a minute, this is great.
It's what's really great about it is the way this year so far is shaping up. It's basically December, 30, 45,
93rd.
40, like 76.
Yeah,
Yep.
December 76 right now.
Yep.
2023. Yeah, because
2023, the sequel.
this year's stupid. It's stupid.
Yeah,
Already.
It hit the ground running.
Oh God, it's stressing me out, man.
I don't know if you're going to have a summer as good as last year's
Yeah.
summer, but the beginning of the year is certainly pretty
Yeah.
damn
Well,
good.
in order to get through every single game you want to play today, you require infinite wealth.
Pew, pew,
Oh,
pew, 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 pew.
I guess we're starting there.
I do not have infinite wealth yet.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I did. I finally finished Gaiden.
I have to hear about your thoughts on Gaiden.
It was short,
crying manly tears. Let's hear it.
It had like some of the saddest ending I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah. I
actually don't want to talk about it.
Okay, all right, that's totally fine. But I will say one thing. I've only played Yakuza 0, 7, and now Infinite Wealth, right? Yeah. And I remember a lot of people are saying that if you've been with Kiryu's journey this whole time, that ending is gonna hit you, especially if you play like Yakuza 3 and 6, I believe, were the two ones that they were So I have not touched those games, and that last cutscene had me sobbing. Like I know nothing about like Kiryu's journey other than he's the Dragon of Dojima and like his legendary status, but what happened in that last scene, and it's not even like sad exactly, it's just like human.
Yeah, you see everything, like all the entire collective experience for this guy is like coming up right here, and he's he's like finally allowing everything to come at him.
And that's what it felt like. It felt like his everything that was boiled within him just came out at that moment. It was incredible. Like absolutely, like, yeah.
It was full on. He was full on ugly crying.
And I was too. Probably the most realistic crying I've ever seen in a video game.
Right? Yeah.
Like, holy shit. Yeah, I don't want to spoil it too much yet.
We already did, so.
Oh, okay, all right.
I didn't hear any spoilers. I just heard.
Yeah, you guys just talked about the ending. You actually didn't say what happened.
Okay.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
He cried. Oh no! Spoilers.
I don't think I've ever seen that. I don't think I've ever seen that man even smile. So.
Like Kiryu cries? What?
Yeah.
Hold the phone.
Yeah.
Okay, now I just processed that. That's a lot.
Yep. I mean, I love this character because he's such a good role model for like very positive masculinity.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, so which Kiryu? Sub-story Kiryu or main story Kiryu?
They're the same now, aren't they?
Collective. Yeah.
Right.
They're the same now. Thank you, Like a Dragon. Sub-story Kiryu's. That's they're one and the same now. I saw that scene. He's like, yeah, I fought a giant squid one time. You're like, oh boy. Oh boy. You just realize, like, we're here now.
This man has lived.
Here we go. That's that's what I've been waiting for.
So I did actually finally start playing Infinite Wealth.
And
it took me a long time to be Gaiden because I wanted to play it on stream. And I didn't want to not play it on stream. So
okay.
So it took me a while to actually muster up the will to actually get it all done. So you can actually see my reaction to the ending on one of my VODs right now. I should probably have that saved so anybody who's interested could go over there and check it out.
Mm-hmm.
That's beautiful, man.
So
I liking the new one? Yeah.
It's more Yakuza 7, Like a Dragon. It's more, but with like different characters and in Hawaii.
Infinitely more?
And not infinitely more. Maybe one or two more.
And
we're in Hawaii! Aloha! Brother!
We're in Hawaii and everybody still speaks Japanese.
Well, yeah, like it's Hawaii is like the middle point between the United States and Japan. So
I would like an option in that game, and I know it doesn't exist, but I would like an option in that game for the NPCs that belong in Hawaii to speak English.
They do.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then your main characters don't.
Right.
So
yeah,
right.
It turns into Tekken.
Yeah, kind of. Everybody has, or Star Trek, where everybody has like.
So it is like that.
Universal communicator. Okay.
Yeah.
The Tekken universal communicator. Okay.
Right. It's like it's the stories from like is a first person omniscient story. So you understand everything that's being said, but the characters in the game who don't speak English do not understand what's
okay. Even though they're speaking English to one another.
Yes.
Right.
And, well,
okay.
you have
No,
your party members speak English. So
Yeah, your party members who
they-
speak English will speak English.
Yeah, they play
Oh,
around
okay.
and try to have him translate, but they don't keep that up very
Yeah.
often, to be honest with you.
That's funny.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. I like that. That's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, it's good. So I'm also playing that game. I don't know if you were done, Joe.
I'm not even close to being done. I'm only on chapter 3.
No, I was gonna mention.
Oh, if I was done talking about it.
Yeah, no, because I was
Yeah,
gonna piggyback on.
I don't have a lot of impressions about it just yet, but I mean, it's pretty much like a lot like the last one was, the previous entry.
Yeah.
They got the successor character, and this seems to be them preparing to fully pass the baton from here on out.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
like, I haven't even come close to finishing this yet, and it's gonna take some time because I'm playing a lot of different stuff.
So one of the things, this game kind of opens up with the epilogue.
Mhm.
It feels like Yakuza 7 epilogue for chapter 1, where it kind of feels like DLC, where you're kind of seeing the characters in a very good place and they're just doing their whole life thing, and you're like, okay, this is fun, and then things happen, and I think I'm around 23 hours into the game, and I've just unlocked my first job.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
At the epilogue?
No. I'm on chapter.
Oh, okay, yeah.
7 now. I
Okay,
believe.
so I haven't unlocked any jobs yet.
Yeah,
Are those-
this game is a long burn.
Okay.
It's
I'm
long.
somewhat pleased to hear that.
Yeah, it's extremely long.
Are you playing Power World in it yet?
I'm not playing
I-
Power World, no.
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 Sujimons.
Well,
Oh.
Well, it's more than
slash
Sujimon.
the Animal Crossing thing.
Right.
Dokima
And then
Island, I forgot the
and then
name.
they become the same game.
Yeah, I'm just about to unlock that right now.
I didn't even know that was a thing, so I guess I had
Uh-huh.
It's insane.
It's nuts.
So it's so weird because in the previous Yakuza, like I said, I only played 0, 7, and now this. In the previous ones, you'll play and like hit a sub story, and the sub stories and the main story never felt connected. They always felt divorced from one another.
Yeah.
Yep.
This one is straight up like, yeah, we're gonna go in a dungeon, and you're like, wait, is this the main story? Like the sub stories and main stories are just now one. This universe is just insane now.
It's all insane. It's all insane
Yeah.
forever.
It was insane before. It's even more crazy now than it was ever.
Yeah.
That makes me want to like play it
Yeah.
even more now. Like,
Yeah, everybody's totally on board with Ichiban's like just crazy. Like, yeah, the world is just Dragon Quest, and I'm like,
Yeah,
you know
our
what?
main
The
character
world
has
is
brain
just
damage.
Dragon Quest.
He's just brain damaged.
Ichiban's a good boy.
So
He is.
To Joe's point,
He's such a good boy.
Imperial, I really love Ichiban because this is a character who's in his 40s and he's just basically starting over. Like he doesn't quite have the social etiquettes that somebody would that hasn't been he's been incarcerated for more than half his
Like
life.
15 years or something.
18.
18 years.
So like he was a kid when he went to jail. So he's coming out now and he just wants to do the best. And I think he's a fantastic main character. Probably one of my favorite main characters ever now, because he can go on the side of absurdity, and then when it's like deadly serious, he will get a tear out of you. Like no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
I was watching my buddy Jason play like chapter 3.
Yeah.
And like I was watching the end of that chapter, and like it's stupid for like a little bit, right? But then like shit gets real serious at the end of that chapter.
You just
Very quick.
described
like-
every
That's
single
Yakuza.
I know,
Like
I know,
a
I
Dragon, Ryuga Gotoku game in existence.
Right,
Every
and it's
single
like,
one.
but like when shit gets so it really like, I think that's the strength of these games is like their ability to handle such wild tonal shifts.
Yes.
Like masterfully. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Mhm.
It's one of the funniest games I've ever played before.
That the series doesn't take itself seriously until it's time to take itself seriously.
And then that shit is serious.
And that
Then
shit
it's
is
And you're like,
serious.
then it's serious.
No.
It has
I-
it has gravitas.
Yes.
Right.
And
Like
so
you're
I can't-
feeling it. You feel it in your chest, man.
I can't play this game without Kayla watching, right?
Right.
And because she after 7, she was like, "Yeah, I'm on board with this. I have to see where this story goes." And I'm playing it, and I'm in the chapter when they introduce the Sujimon stuff, and she's like, "What is happening? This is the dumbest fucking thing in the world." And like they're talking about like going to Hawaii where the sun and moon is gonna like. And I'm like, this
subtle.
is
Real subtle.
right. And she's like, "What?" Like she's like, "I can't believe this game is so stupid." Not 15 minutes later, she is sobbing because of what happened in the story. She's like, "How does this game do this?" And I'm like,
It's crazy.
It's insane. It's absolutely
It's
insane.
it's amazing. It really is.
It's impressive.
Fucking love it. Ugh.
I was definitely a fan of Like a Dragon, and unfortunately, other games just kind of showed up and other things showed up. So this one is on my backlog for now.
It's not going anywhere. And if anything, it'll be
I
better later
am
on.
definitely going to pick it up and play it because I really loved the first one. So I'm just waiting on it. I have a lot of things on my plate right now and random expenses.
Yep.
I suppose I'll get into that.
All right.
Later.
Fun story, I'm sure.
I love
About
adulting stories.
About my criminal child.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Do you plan on playing Gaiden, Dre?
I'm sorry?
Do you plan on playing Gaiden?
No. Not
Okay.
gonna play.
It's not necessary.
I have long since resolved that Yakuza in its form before, as it's currently known as Like a Dragon here, is just not for me. I very much enjoy the story of those games, but the actual playing of those games is just not for me.
I am completely on board with you. Like Yakuza 0 was the first and probably the only one I can really get through. No, actually I did play.
I think it's still my favorite with that system.
Oh, the beat 'em up system.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think the games are just too long for the stuff that the beat 'em up nature of it. Like it's fun, but it just goes on. I'm like, man, now this enemy has purple life. Fuck.
Yeah, I don't know. It's, when an RPG boss is a bullet sponge, it doesn't annoy me as much as when an action game boss is a bullet sponge.
Yeah, I'm with you.
It's just something about it. I don't know what it is. Like maybe because I've been conditioned to expect RPG bosses to take a lot of damage.
Right.
And they should, because you want to be able to use
your tools.
Yeah, your tools. You want to be able to use them.
All your cool shit that
Yeah.
you fucking spent so much goddamn time unlocking.
When I'm playing like an action game of some type and a boss shows up with 82 life bars, which is why I'm never really into like most beat 'em ups, and like stuff like Streets of Rage and everything that are, I can't even say subjectively, kind of like objectively like the best beat 'em ups. I just don't like them because like these bosses get like invincible iframes and 42 life bars. I'm just like, I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
Which is why I've always liked the Turtles, because they don't show you life bars until the recent one. But then nobody has like super life bars, so like
Right.
it's like I could just go get with it. I'm like, all right, I'm cool with this. But
Yeah.
I definitely Yakuza 0 I thought was a great story. I loved watching that.
Mhm.
And I'm fine with Yakuza 0 through 6 and what's the, I forgot, Gaiden.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that being non-interactive movies for me.
Yeah.
I'm just fine with it.
I can live with this.
I'd like to see them do more. I don't want. I guess period pieces like they did with Ishin,
Okay.
where they had the in-game characters essentially acting in a period piece. That was great.
That's some meta insanity
Right?
of like the highest quality
Yep.
imaginable.
Yeah.
I would want that only if they're doing different regions.
Yeah,
If they do like the French Renaissance.
I
I'm
would
like,
love to
yeah.
see them in the French Renaissance. That would be great. And they're still speaking Japanese.
Of course.
Well, yeah, of course.
One guy speaks French, and it's Majima.
He knows all the languages.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd like to see more of that, but I don't actually think we're gonna get more of that. But I'll take as much Cosmic Kiryu as I can get.
Yep.
He's the best.
He's the best. He's the best.
He's just the best.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't get to be the star of 7 games and then like random offshoots if you're not good or interesting.
Yeah.
Right.
All right.
Absolutely.
I don't know if that was both of you. You have anything else, Joe?
Oh yeah, I'd have plenty. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that'll lead into what I'm going to talk about, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Joe,
You want to
get into the? You want to do this now?
Sure, let's do it.
All right.
We're ready. We're ready on our way.
We in, boys.
Yeah.
Because Tekken 8 came out.
Yes, it did.
It's incredible.
It wasn't looking like that for a year.
Joe and I were very worried about this game.
A lot of people
we were
were.
like,
Yeah.
there's like, I remember I felt very similar to how Arslan Ash was talking about it. Like Arslan Ash was like, there's too much. There's too much. Like I don't like he looked like he was having a panic attack over like the amount of mechanics in the game. Right. And so they introduced this new mechanic called the heat system. Okay. And I was really worried about this mechanic. I was worried this mechanic was going to be really oppressive, and they want you to use it. Yeah. That shit gets refilled.
They force you
every round.
They force you to use it. Too.
They force you to use it because certain moves and like key moves for characters, like some of their best moves, activate heat. For example, Paul Phoenix Smasher, activates heat. So you hit somebody with a Phoenix Smasher, you run forward and you activate that shit, and suddenly you're in their face with frame advantage. Not really frame advantage, but
you're plus 17.
You're plus 17 on heat moves.
Huge.
Which is nuts.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's huge.
And there's everybody, and a bunch of characters have armored moves. I actually think Law has one of the best heat activators in the game.
Yeah.
Okay. Forward 3.
Sorry, give me a second here. What the hell is heat? What is it? Because you guys just spent like 2 minutes talking about heat.
It's everyone's super mode.
It's different. Well, it's the same for everybody, but it's like
What would you liken it to?
There's nothing else like it.
Soul Charge.
Maybe Soul Charge.
It's Soul Charge from Soul Calibur, where like suddenly certain moves become more powerful. Like you're a little bit more plus with certain moves now. And like heat activation, it's
all right.
You could just it's really complicated.
It's not that complicated. I'll tell you.
It's not. It's easier to show. That's a problem.
You enter into heat mode, and your moves start doing block damage.
Yes.
Wait, we still talking about Yakuza?
Yeah.
No. Right.
Your moves start doing block damage. You unlock a new unique move that uses the meter. Some of your heat engagers gain different properties.
Yes.
Like if you're in the heat state, and then you hit something with a heat activator move, you could continue a combo by like dashing forward in their face.
Right. It's like canceling, so you can cancel out of heat mode.
Yeah.
To further a combo.
Right. And
right.
So it's like everybody gets like an install super.
Yes,
kind of like
that's it's the best way to describe it. Like heat is essentially an install super for everyone.
Yeah.
Okay, because you still get rage too. Rage is still in the game, which is the comeback mechanic. So like heat, so you can have heat and rage on at the same time and do some real crazy shit. Like there's 100% combos in this game from certain characters in certain situations.
Most of them.
Are you going to see that? Almost never, because because it's like you have to time wall hit into another wall hit into a flip,
starting with a 40 frame unblockable. Yeah.
Right. It's just it's too much nonsense. Like like the odds of you ever seeing 100% combo in like an actual like match are slim to none.
But like happen this year in Evo.
It's possible. It is. I'm not going to pretend. I mean, some stages it might be possible.
Mm-hmm.
Like the dream sequence stage, might be possible there.
Like
that stage is a little stupid.
3 floor breaks. Yeah.
3 floor breaks into wall. Yeah, I think you could do it. Or the dojo stage with the right timing. Or the fucking palace. I don't know.
There's like a lot. There's a lot.
Oh, there's no more infinite stages anymore, by the way.
There's no infinite stages. I did
that.
Like,
wall splats are everywhere.
There is a
Yes.
very, very large stage.
Yes, that's the Coliseum.
Yeah, but that one still has walls.
And Jesus H. Christ. So I thought this was going to be overwhelming. But the heat activation moves are actually there to guide you a little bit.
Yeah, and it's more of a defensive mechanic, honestly.
Really.
Yeah.
And like it's kind of fascinating. It's like in Harada's attempts to like break down the Tekken defense, he's made it more defensive. Ironically. They've simplified everyone's commands a little bit too. Like everybody has an up forward 2 punch throw now. Like every character has one now. And there's so many mind games that go into shit now. Like Oki is even scarier now. Oki's scarier than it's ever been.
Yeah, if you're put at the wall and you're waking up against your opponent, it's like it feels like you're just taking free damage.
You're like you're just like this.
Yeah.
Like you can what I really like about this game though is you can kind of play it a little bit like Samurai Showdown, right? In which that like you can like just hit people with some real well-timed counter hits.
Yeah.
Put them in the corner and abuse them on Oki.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And then you die. Mm-hmm. You don't need to be some combo monster. I'm not like a big combo guy. Like I have like good I'm using my main character. I'm using Law right now. Surprising no one. Okay. And they simplified some of the commands, and I'm thankful for this because Law's Dragon Stance. Law will do a couple regular moves. Like he'll do like his Shaolin spin kicks. All right, and he'll go into something called the Dragon Stance. Right. When the old motion for this was you had to press back forward, and you had to do it in a way that you buffered it. So the moment you were done with the third attack of whichever attack that you were canceling into it, you had to do it like that motion, end with the forward. Now it's just forward. So they've simplified that, thank God. And actually, Law is like way easier to use than he's ever been.
So does my boy Hwoarang have his stance stuff now?
Oh, of course. Oh yeah, Hwoarang.
Right.
Oh, Hwoarang's a monster in this game. I think he's really good.
I have a lot of trouble fighting him.
He killed, especially on Oki.
Yeah, things I feel like I should be able to duck are now hitting me.
Yeah, I'm getting hit with like a bunch of mids before that didn't used to work like that.
Yeah, it's like the secret to beating Hwoarang was like duck. Now it's
duck.
Like nope, you can't.
They gave him a lot more mids now, and he's way more dangerous.
It's insane. I can't stand it. It drives me
crazy.
He's
fun, but he's fun though too. I was thinking about picking up honestly. Like there's a couple characters I'm like having a lot of fun with. The three new characters are all fantastic. They're all winners. Reina is every bit as incredible as you think she is.
I'm not big on Victor. I think Victor is lame.
I think Victor's cool.
No,
I think he's cool. He's a little tryhard, but like, but he's also like so tryhard because he looks cool as is. It's like, I mean, look at him.
Yeah, you know what? If I look at him, I feel like his fight style should be a little more subdued than it is.
It's definitely a little wacky that he's teleporting around with like slashes. I mean, he's there to be Noctis though, essentially. So
there's the replacement, yeah.
Right. So it kind of makes sense that he's moving the way he does. And Azucena is wonderful. She's a pain in the ass.
Yeah, her like there's one of her moves is it's insane.
Stupid.
It's a really long.
You're talking about the jump kick, right? The jump kick.
Yeah.
Oh
where in order to dodge this long range move that's armored, by the way, you have to sidestep left and then duck.
And she's plus. She's plus on it.
It is such
she's plus on it.
It is such a stupid move. Like no move should be this good in this game.
It's so dumb.
No move should be this good. It's so insanely hard to punish.
She's so crazy. Like she's such a good character. It's insane.
Yeah.
Reina's really hard to use. Well, like she's got some oppressive mix-up shit, but like you can kind of figure her out. She at the end of the day, she's a Mishima, so she has a lot of high punches. So you just have to duck her ass a couple times.
Is she actually a Mishima?
Yes.
Oh, I thought she was a YouTube Heihachi fan.
No, she is
Like,
Heihachi's daughter.
Yeah, the spoilers for the story, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's in her fucking profile.
No, I just say no.
As
So
soon
yes,
as soon as
how
they
many
put out that,
bastards?
Yeah. So there's two Heihachi bastards running around.
Okay, cool.
2 of 18.
as
I'm
soon as
not
they
making
put
that
out
number up.
that trailer with Reina and she did the electric one God Fist. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
sure, yep.
I saw the electric.
Yes,
Dude,
okay.
Kuma has an electric now.
Yeah.
Oh, electrics
Kuma's
come
a-
out
Only in,
Yeah.
only in
Yeah,
Heat State.
Mishima.
Only in Heat State. And it's
only in Heat State. But Kuma has electrics.
Yeah.
Also, that's another thing too about all Mishimas. All electrics are free in Heat State.
Yeah.
As in, you don't have to do them frame perfect. They're just electrics now.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, the game is crazy, but I'm not gonna lie. It's incredible.
Yeah.
I think it's better. I am addicted
I
to
am
this
having
game.
a lot of fun with it. I think
insane.
I'm having more fun with this game than I am with Street Fighter 6.
I am too, actually, a little bit.
And I think a lot of that.
Then you did with Street Fighter 6 altogether, or
No, it's too early for that for me
yeah,
to make that
okay.
call.
But the thing about it is that this game, because I'm not such a Tekken guy, and I really haven't historically been, my Tekken fundamentals are pretty much non-existent. I'm still learning them. So I feel like I have a lot more room to grow in this game versus a game like Street Fighter 6, where I can...
Where you figured it out already.
Where I've figured out already, and I'm pretty much as
Yeah.
good as I'm gonna get. I've hit my peak. I plateaued in Street Fighter 6. I feel like my ceiling for Tekken is a lot lower though. So
It is because
yeah,
you have. It's like you said, Joe. You're lacking a lot of like everybody's moveset. I know everyone's movesets because
Yeah.
I've been playing Tekken since forever.
yeah.
So like,
I keep getting blown
so
up.
I
by,
have that
yeah.
knowledge.
I keep getting blown up by high level opponents who can just do like a really oppressive string that I don't know how to do, and I'm like trying to figure it out in real time.
Yeah.
So
For me,
if
it's the ones that I
yeah.
played the least. The characters that debuted in the games that I played the least.
mm-hmm.
Like Leo blows me up
Yeah.
because I didn't play a lot of Tekken 6.
Mhm.
So Leo messes me up, and when I played Tekken 5, I actually didn't play a lot of Dark Resurrection.
Mhm.
So I actually have trouble with Lily too. Lily kind of, and Drogonov, which is another problem character.
Is a problem. Yes,
He's gonna get
Yeah.
nerfed. I'm not too
Yeah,
like he's.
it's move the.
I'm like incoming nurse for that
Yeah.
weirdo fuck.
Yeah, people are hopping on that train like crazy, and they're abusing it.
Yeah. His heat move is stupid.
Yep.
It's stupid.
It's ridiculous.
So much. It goes on forever.
It goes on forever. It leaves it like so.
It puts you in the corner.
Tekken is all about carrying to the wall.
Yep.
And frame data. Now,
Mhm.
the fastest move in a Tekken game is as a 10 frame startup. That is the fastest move.
Yeah.
So with all of if you look at a Tekken move list, it is very intimidating if you've never looked at it before.
Yeah.
It's very intimidating. It's like, how am I supposed to remember all this? And the answer is, you fucking
don't.
don't.
You don't.
You fucking don't. You're like, as soon as you finish a matchup and you go back to the training mode, you're like, oh yeah, I probably could have used this to my advantage. Like, use this.
Oh, yeah.
Use this move more often. Then use
Yeah,
this more often, and then you forget something else you could do. But
That's the nature of learning the game.
right,
Like it's
Yeah,
just how
and
that's
then-
gonna go.
And then on top of that, you have to know the properties of that move. What's the startup? How many frames is it? How many frames are you at a disadvantage on block? How many frames you are at an advantage to you on hit? And how do I string these together in such a way that my offense is oppressive and I don't even
Right.
give them a chance to press buttons? Because as soon
Yes.
as you're not pressing buttons in Tekken, suddenly you have to start guessing because defense is really hard. Because
Yes.
there's some really fast lows in this game, and you will get your feet swept a lot. Not to
Law
mention
has a bunch of
yeah,
cute little fucking like all of his down kicks
Yeah.
and shit.
Not
Oh.
to, not to mention the fact that I think a lot of the lows in this game are overtuned because the ranges excessive. Like they extend beyond they extend beyond like the visual representation of it. Like the hitbox goes far more forward than it should.
Joe's character is an example of somebody who suffers from this issue.
Yeah. So I think
Fang's lows are stupid.
Yeah.
Although the
yeah.
worst
King.
offender,
King.
Kings are bad.
King.
Zhou Yu.
Zhao
Yu's might be the best character in the game.
Yeah, Zhao Yu has always been a character like where you're just staring at the screen like, how did that hit me?
Yeah, and it's worse now.
Yeah, it's worse than it's ever been because
it's worse than it's ever been.
The range on moves is just too far.
It's crazy.
Things hit me from too far away.
Yeah, so you have to renegotiate your spacing now.
Yeah.
If any spacing that you learned in the previous game, you have to kind of relearn a little bit. It's
right.
But despite all of that, it's the game's like incredible.
Yeah.
Like it's so fun. And honestly, anyone who's overpowered, if you know the matchup, you can still kick their ass. It's the same as it's ever been for Tekken, in which like if you know the matchup, you can fucking destroy your opponent.
Yeah.
Like you'll just like I fuck them up. You were always one low parry away from killing your opponent.
In fighting games, I usually hate mirror matches, and I still do. But some of my most fun matches have been against other Fang Ways because like, oh, I know this matchup. I can actually play defense.
Right. I know the matchup. It becomes an even more fun.
I know
exactly
what to do when I block this move. I know exactly what to do when I want to. I know how to sidestep this one. I know and then it becomes a lot more fun. The problem is that there's so much. Like if you familiarize yourself with one character, you'll probably never master that character, and then there's still like 20 others you have to learn just to play the game.
So like that's if you're only trying to be crazy, right?
Yeah.
If you're gonna play this in a more casual sense,
you can
I think the game is still incredible.
You can get by to a certain rank on a lot of your
you can
gimmicks
easily. Yeah. You can get to orange rank, no problem, which is required for a platinum trophy if you want to platinum the game. If you want to get but like, which I platinum the game already. But like. Also, speaking of the more casual end of this thing, I want to talk about the story mode because it's a fucking work of a work of art.
The forced redemption of Jin Kazama, the previously irredeemable sins of Jin Kazama. Yeah,
Mr. I'm an idiot and started World War III to fight this thing that I didn't actually have to fight, and end up causing more problems as a result.
Kills billions,
and like. The best thing is the game opens up, right? And like Jin goes to fight Kazuya in the middle of Manhattan, really in the middle of Times Square. It's first fucking stage, right? He like rides his motorcycle up the wall, okay, and like throws his motorcycle at Kazuya's helicopter. The helicopter crashes. Kazuya just gets out and he's fine. It's like nothing fucking happened. It's like and then like it occurred to me, I'm like, oh, we're like in Fast and the Furious land now too. Because like except in the world where only your fists matter. Bullets don't mean shit.
Bullets don't mean shit.
Right? Nina's shooting you? That don't matter.
Nope.
What matters is that hard punch after. Right. That's the shit that matters,
in the Tekken world,
guns?
In the Tekken universe, bite the bullet means something entirely different.
It does. It literally means like taking your teeth and spit it at the guy. Yeah. Like, okay. So Jin and like Kazuya just walks up. He's like, "Oh, Mister, I started World War III." He's like, he like talks shit to Jin. He's like, "Yeah, you moron, you started this. This is your fault,
up, Dad."
and Jin's on his emo shit, like, "Oh, this our bloodline must be erased. All this blah blah, all this bullshit." And I love the fact that like Jin gets his ass kicked in the initial round to a point where like he loses access to his devil powers for like a good portion of the story mode, right? And he gets his ass kicked because his whole thing is he's on a suicide mission. And like that kind of resolve isn't going to break someone like Kazuya. And Kazuya calls him out on it. He's like, "Yo, you can't beat me like this." Like your whole thing is you hate yourself. I don't hate me. You ain't shit. You're not going to win like this.
The only thing I've ever hated is my dad. I killed him.
Right. And that fucker's gone. I threw his ass in a volcano.
Twice.
See what happened to him.
It worked this time.
It worked this time. I watched his ass melt this time. It was over. Right? And the story mode, it's just it's how Jin gets his groove back, essentially.
How Jin gets
they go through a tournament. They meet Reina meets him. She's like all like talking shit to him. Right? But he gets into a fucking fight with Hwoarang. And Hwoarang is like the first person to be like, "Yo, what are you doing, man?" Like, what's wrong with you?
I thought it was Leroy that's like
Leroy gives him advice later. Hwoarang's the first one to kind of like. Hwoarang's the first person you get your devil power active against. Because they're old rivals, like they're.
That's a fun callback. I like that. Because
Dude,
like, the Tekken Tag ending was with them too. That's a fun little. Callback.
Well, I mean, yeah, they're rivals. Like Hwoarang's rival is Jin. Like his whole thing. Like they're kind of like Ryu and Ken, except like Hwoarang's a street punk, like who knows Taekwondo, and like Hwoarang's whole thing is that like he sees Jin, he's like, "Yo, what are you doing, man?" And Hwoarang beats his ass at first.
Mm-hmm.
Jin gets a second win and manages to overcome him, but barely. And he's like, "Yo, you need to. I don't know what's going on, man, but you got to get it together. Call me when you do, because I hope I'm there, right? Because I'll beat your ass." And it's great. And like, so they do this whole thing where like, fucking Zafina's possessed by like the boss from Tekken 6, and Kazuya like absorbs that shit, and he becomes Shin fucking Kazuya, Devil Kazuya,
True Devil Kazuya. Yeah,
it's beautiful.
And
you fight Azazel as Kazuya to kick Azazel's ass and steal its power.
Sure,
it's beautiful.
Yeah,
it's great.
It's just like I'm stronger than you've ever been. Blah blah. I'm taking your power now. Thanks. Let's go.
And it's like later, bitch. And then like, it culminates with like Jin getting like angel powers, and then they're fighting. They're fighting
his mom, kind of, sort of an angel.
That's kind of, sort of what they touch on, right? Well, Jin kind of makes peace.
Is the one who gave him the devil gene?
No. His he got it from Kazuya straight up.
He inherited it from his father. Yeah,
but the devil gene doesn't necessarily make you evil. Like it kind of like just ensures that you might be an asshole. Like
contrary to the name, of course.
Contrary to the name. So like
Jin makes peace with the devil side of himself. And
he pretty much like he has a Naruto moment.
No, he has he has a Bleach moment.
Yes. Yeah.
He ripped off the mask.
Yeah.
He's like,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So like they get into this big fight, and then Jin turns into a Soul Calibur character with wings, and the island blows up, and then
we're in space. We're in space. We're just in space. One of the stages is just in this flying asteroid, and it's the greatest fighting game stage of all time.
I wasn't expecting space. I'm not gonna lie.
It's
honestly
it's
the whole climax.
It's beautiful.
Like the story is so stupid, but the entire climax is amazing.
So satisfying.
Amazing. Like the
it
best.
Really,
Jin.
Oh my
really
God.
Good.
Like, it's out for like a month. Can we talk about it? I don't know.
No,
it's been a month.
We can talk about a bunch of stuff where we're not spoiling this climax.
I don't want to spoil this because the last two chapters, like the fight is it's incredible. It's so fun, and that last fucking chapter it is storytelling art.
Yep,
like communicated through gameplay, and that's all I'm gonna fucking say.
Yeah.
And if you have any Tekken knowledge whatsoever, even with the slightest bit of Tekken knowledge, there's so many incredible callbacks. It's unbelievable. Like this story mode was so good.
It's just knock down, drag out, just
oh my God,
skin of your
and there's
knuckles.
A Tekken 4 stage.
Yeah,
there's a Tekken 4 stage where you play as a bunch of characters essentially doing Tekken 4 shit. It's fucking great. Oh, it's so good.
Tekken 8,
like
Tekken 4.
Yeah, Tekken 4.
I heard.
It is, so on the casual end, there's the arcade battle, which is a really fantastic tutorial.
Yeah, there's a lot
how to play the game.
There's a lot of things to enjoy in this game.
It's
probably
like much like
this better win fighting game of the year so far. I mean, I haven't even touched Uni 2 because that release was troubled, and I really only have the capacity for one fighting game at a time.
Right.
And Tekken isn't intimidating enough. I can't.
Tekken's a lot. Tekken's so much.
Yeah, Under Night is a very oppressive anime fighting game where if you get caught in a combo, you're there for like half a minute, and it's infuriating. Yeah. It's really, really, really good, but
it feels bad to lose in that game badly.
You need to be really good in order to handle that game, and I'm not.
So
really
can I speak about real quick about how Tekken 8 gave me a new epiphany for fighting games?
Please.
Yeah.
So very interested in this game. I am not a Tekken fan per se, but I played all of them.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm watching reviews of this, and I'm like, okay, yeah, this looks really good, but there's too much out right now that I can't pick it up, right?
I understand.
And it was Maximilian's review where he was speaking about the arcade mode, right? And they had different people that's there just to get like, you know, costumes, there just to like play for fun and all this stuff. And him talking about just like there's so much different layers of the fighting game scene and stuff like that. It made me think about like me, why do I love fighting games? Like I love the art, I love the characters, love the music. I just don't love the competitive aspect of it, right?
Which is
And
the core, which is weird, but okay.
But
Yeah.
that's
It's not
just,
though. It's not
yeah,
weird.
That's I buy fighting games. I will buy most fighting games day one, play it, and I'm like, this is fun. But there was something in my mind where I was like, I have to be an Evo. I just have to be like this amazing player. And listening to that, like all the reviews and like Max talk about it, I said, you know, let me just throw that away and just play fighting games, go into the arcade mode and just push buttons.
Yeah.
And since then, I've just been
I'm just pushing buttons, man.
just pushing, but I've been playing Samurai Showdown, Street Fighter 6, went back to Tekken 7, and I'm just on the Steam Deck just every like about an hour a day, just with each game, just like pushing buttons and just learning that way. And it is the most fun I've had with fighting games in probably ever.
Honestly,
Since Marvel vs. Capcom 1.
One of the most fun things about fighting games is learning how to play them well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and everybody learns differently, and one of the best one of the best ways to learn is just like pushing a button and learning what it does.
That's it. Yeah. And like, and it's okay if you don't go past that.
Yeah.
And
like, as long as you get to a place where you feel good that you accomplished something.
I did it
because you beat that computer.
I did a Just Guard in Samurai Showdown, and I was like, yeah, that felt fucking good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I don't have to be an Evo participant.
No.
Like, and
also,
but
you don't have to be good to go to Evo. It's an open tournament.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I went to Evo.
But granted, but like I just have like a different frame in the fighting games now, and I think there's a better relationship with them.
Yeah, you treat them like a beat 'em up in that way.
Yeah.
And that's because I love beat 'em ups. I love character action games. Like I look at the combo list and I'm like, I'm gonna learn all of Bayonetta's combos. But like now I'm just putting that in the frame of a fighting game where I'm just having a duel with another person.
So yeah,
and
Tekken,
like,
Tekken is a lot like Bayonetta in that regard.
Yeah.
Where there's a really extensive move list. You're not going to use all the moves. You're not going to string all the moves well together all the time. But you're going to find that bread and butter that you use a lot, and then and then use it to your advantage. And then
sometimes when you get to do that extended version of it, it feels real fucking good,
and
boy.
Then when that stops working, that's in your data bank. You can set it aside and learn something new. That's something else that works.
Yeah,
when the other thing doesn't work.
I'm happy you've come to this conclusion because, like, that was the thing that I loved about fighting games before I met Joe.
Yeah.
You know, and like got like more competitive and more like serious about like getting good, right? Because I was always like pretty good, and I enjoyed like the casual aspect of. But I'm that person that when I get a fighting game, I don't go online immediately, bro. I like to like beat arcade mode with every character.
I like to feel it out. Yeah, I gotta feel it out. I do. I have to
just like touch buttons.
I have to know things. I have to know.
Play the story mode, all that shit. I love that shit. I always do that shit first. Always.
Yeah, understanding them is more fun than playing them, in my opinion.
Absolutely, I agree with that in some capacity. I can see that.
Yeah,
but yeah, Tekken 8 is like. It just, and I don't want to say like I like it more than Street Fighter at the moment. I like it more than Street Fighter at this very moment, right this second.
Yeah,
but also
I'm on board with that. I
played Street Fighter a lot. Though. I played Street Fighter for like 6 months straight, though. So like I'll see where I'm at with Tekken in 6 months, like because Street Fighter is going to get a balance patch soon. So I'm gonna
sooner than they projected.
Sooner than they said. Yeah. We're getting actually after Capcom Cup kind of soon, like when Ed drops soon.
Yeah, which is good because I thought the year was too long. And I thought
half a year.
Yeah, we had this argument where like a year was too long and half a year was too short. This is right in the middle. This is right.
Yeah, it's just 9 months. This is that weird number. We were like, I guess 9 months. I guess
because honestly, people. I think one of the reasons that we feel this way about Tekken and Street Fighter is like Street Fighter 6 has gotten a little bit stale because it stayed the same for several months,
and there was less, and the content it was releasing wasn't substantial, and there wasn't even a lot of like bells and whistles. There wasn't like a lot of costumes and shit like released.
It's
you know, It's very dry on its content. It's very very odd.
Which
very
is
odd.
I don't have a problem with that because honestly, all I want out of a fighting game is for the game to be good.
The game is good at the end of the day, and that's all what I wanted from it. So,
but there's
again, this isn't. Yeah,
there's a lot of things that need to be fixed. There's a lot of characters that need like upscaling. Some characters need downscaling. Let's touch it a little bit. Touch it.
Yeah. I didn't, and I think like we've seen hints of it from the Ed build that people have been buffed. Ryu's gotten buffs on his Hasho.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, oh, thank God.
Yeah, he needs something.
Yeah,
because
I still need.
He's just a template for Ken. That's all he is.
I know, it's upsetting. Like, and he's still fun to play. That's the funny thing. I still enjoy using the character, but yeah, I don't know. So, anyways, but that's Tekken. Just absolutely incredible.
Oh, and
love it so much.
And the music's better than this.
Oh my God, the music is so good. I actually haven't switched over to my like classics playlist yet because the music is so good.
It has like the same kind of sound font,
but it's better compositions.
It has a lot of the like the dubsteppy thing where they use like dot matrix printer noises as instruments. Yeah. But it's like the same sound font, but the language is different and it sounds better. It's like like there's some certain languages that sound guttural. This one sounds a little bit more. Yeah. There's some really good tracks in 7. There's some really good
bangers in 7, but 8 overall. Yeah. Like the music that plays when you're fighting in space is unbelievable.
Yeah, they're not gonna.
And the music,
they're not gonna hit the glory days of 5.
No. I feel like it's like I feel like it's on its way again though, because like
maybe, but like
6 is 5 and 6 has some. 5 is probably the best overall, but 6 has some like incredible bangers in it.
Yeah, like 5 was like.
Best
identifiable. It had its own identity as like this is what Tekken sounds like.
Yeah, Tekken 5 is still I think
Tekken 8 just has Tekken 8 just has music that sounds appropriate for the setting, but Tekken 5 was like, this is Tekken music.
This is Tekken. Yeah. I would argue Tekken 5 I consider to be one of the best fighting game soundtracks of all time.
Probably one of the best soundtracks, period.
Yeah, it's really good. It's not good. But yeah, that's I feel we've ranted enough about Tekken, but like I can't recommend it enough. It's incredible.
Yeah.
And Kuma has electrics. What more do you want?
And a headband.
The best.
Yeah. Honoring his fallen master. Yeah.
I love it. It's so good.
I love the game. Like there's just character development to the bear.
Right. It's incredible.
Yeah.
10 out of 10. What about you? What else you got, Joe?
Well, I just started something that has been honestly a little tough to play, just from a mechanical standpoint, because, this is gonna tie in with Dre a little bit because Andre's been playing it too, and I've had my eyes in this for a while. It's been in early access for a bit, and it's an ARPG. And like into the Diablo style, and since Diablo 4 really failed to capture my long-term interest, this one has been on my radar for a bit. It's been early access, and it just came out of early access like a week ago. Not even. It's a game called Last Epoch, which apparently how to pronounce that word, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's a very flashy ARPG, very flashy. Looked like a lot of fun. Wanted to play it. And relatively cheap, was like $35, which for what they give you in this game is kind of crazy.
Oh, I'm gonna talk about price points in a minute.
Yeah,
too.
Yeah.
We have to have that discussion.
So, like, unfortunately, the game has had a lot of trouble with like their server stability, so it's actually been really difficult to play.
Let's get out of here.
Yeah.
That seems to be a common theme this month.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's an offline mode, but you have to create characters specific for your offline mode. So if you want to play with your friends, you're not going to be able to use those characters. So it just kind of feels like I don't want to do this. I'd rather just play with my online character and just team up with my boys somewhere down the line, So it's very much like, it feels like an updated version of Diablo 2 and 3. Like they took elements that worked from both of those games and incorporated them into this one.
I like that.
Yeah, there are 5. Okay. There are 5 classes. There's like a fighter type, the rogue type, the wizard type, the necromancer type, and the druid type. I forget their official names, but and they all have like 3 subclasses which you specialize in down the line. Now, what separates this from like other ARPGs that I've played is that like you get like a level up tree where you have like your level up like passive abilities you put points into.
Yeah.
But you can specialize in a skill. And then that skill has its own talent tree, which you could use to customize it to your liking and make a build entirely around that skill. And you get like up to 4 of these. So
5.
5? Okay, it's even better. 5. So the amount of customization you can have in this game, the amount of decision making you can have, and it's so juicy. It makes, and I look at this and I'm like, I have so many decisions I can make, and I don't know where to go, and I'm having a lot of fun just looking at it. You know,
all
like,
them seem viable so far.
Things are falling at my feet. You know, I'm not that high. I'm not that high level, so I haven't really hit like a challenge yet. But like, all these skills have like different functions mechanically, and that like they all have a skill tree that like affects them in such a way that you can specialize in it. And since you get up to 5 of them, you can just mix and match as you see fit. Like you can like put points into this one that synergizes with this one, and that's how I'm expecting this to go down the line. Now, mind you, I was waiting for this to come out of early access to even start playing it, because I don't like playing games that are in early access. I really prefer not anymore. Not anymore. Okay. No. I want to play them day and date 1.0. 1.0.
Welcome.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I had.
You can't get tired of the game before it comes out.
That's exactly it.
You can't. It just doesn't feel good, man.
Exactly the reason I decided not to do that anymore.
Yeah, that was always my biggest fear, man. Was to like get tired of it before it fucking even came out.
Correct. Yeah. So there are a few games that are in early access that I'm still waiting for them to drop into 1.0 that I've been waiting several years for, and hopefully by the time that releases they'll be fresh. So anyway, like I said, online stability has not been good, so I've had a lot of trouble playing it, because every time you like transfer the zone, you have to like connect with like the server again. And there's like the communication stuff, and they're like overloaded right now. I think they didn't see the success of this game as being as strong as it was.
It's all sounding very familiar.
Yeah.
It's all sounding very familiar to me.
But I'm looking at it, I'm like, this has a lot of potential to be really, really fun. And I'm hoping... Yeah,
I was gonna say Dre's played it too, right?
Dre has been playing it, I think, more than I have, actually.
Yeah, I'm about a level 50 character. What I really, I guess, want to stress about the game is people already had an alternative to Diablo 3 and 4 in Path of Exile.
Right.
I mean, there have been other ARPGs that came out, like Wolcen or whatever, that just didn't have any staying power because there was just something fundamentally wrong with the game. Path of Exile, even though I do not like that game, it does what it does for the people who want that game.
Right.
And it's very successful at it. So this game, the first thing that you see in Path of Exile is you get a level up, and then you just want to give up playing the game. Because you don't know what, like, if you just install the game tomorrow and you say, I'm going to play Path of Exile, you get your first level up, and you're like, cool, I'm going to put this point into my skill tree, and then you open the skill tree, and it's like the entire fucking Final Fantasy X.
It's literally a tree.
Dre describing his first experience with this shit has always made me laugh.
I literally uninstalled it after I got my first level. I made it to the town, and I'm like, what am I putting this point into? And I'm just like, I'm paralyzed with fear because I already know that I can't change it.
You can't.
Unless I put it. Yes, but you got to either pay real money or like go really deep into the game. And Then I'm like, what am I supposed to do? And people are like, follow a build. I was like,
no.
No, I want to play the goddamn game.
I just want to.
I want to make decisions.
Right, that will matter and not make it feel like it was all for absolutely fucking nothing.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
totally get that.
This game strikes a very good balance between the simplicity of Diablo, which is, I mean, like, Diablo is not a complex game.
No.
So it gets in between the simplicity of Diablo and the complexity of Path of Exile. The simplicity of Diablo, like Diablo 4, if you want to cast Fireball, cool, I'm going to spec my Fireball. I'm going to spend 1 point to learn it, spend 1 point on a required specialization, and then spend 1 point on one of 2 optional upgrades that you can't get both of them. Okay, fine. So it's basically a maximum of 3 points you can put into Fireball. And the options are improved damage or improved crit damage. So that's, I don't know, it's not very exciting. Now you go to Diablo 3 and you want to cast Fireball, and you have like things like it splits into 3 bolts, its damage type changes to frost or something, and you have like, it's still not a lot of options, but you have like 6 different ways that you can modify this ability.
Right.
And you can only pick one of them, but still, you have options and you can pick it on the fly. So if you say, you know what, I want to change what my Fireball does, you can change it just like that. Now, what this game does, it has each ability you have has, as Joe said, its own talent tree. And you get 20 points that you can put into these as you play through the game. And you can respec them. So that is something that Diablo 4 did not really figure out, that you can respec, and it's not like impossible. So you can say, you know what, I want my Fireball to shoot 3 different fireballs at the same time. So you spec towards that.
Yeah.
And then you say, I want my Fireball to also not be fire damage. So you can spec towards that. And you can have both of them active at the same time as long as you have enough points. And then you can just basically make like this chimera ability, which is uniquely yours if that's just how you want to do it. You have some abilities that have skills that say when you use this ability, an entirely separate ability fires off at the same time.
Right.
And then if you have both of those abilities, you can spec both of them. And then you have like combinations now of things that literally just, they took the idea of the Leapquake Barbarian from Diablo 3 and just made it something that's just part of the system.
Yeah,
so,
the developers was very active on the Diablo 3 forums, from what I understand, where he was like begging developers to give him feedback. So he's like very cavalier about taking feedback from players on the forums, on the Discord servers, and things like that. So seems to be this development team was 11th hour. They seem to be very passionate about this genre, which shows. It shows, and if this game gets the support that I hope it does, then hopefully it stays as much fun as it looks.
Well, they've already said that future plans is for the expansions to be free, or DLC, whatever they want to do. It's free. It's not like the game is $35.
Yeah,
and they're not playing with you. It's $35. If you want to buy cosmetics, you can buy cosmetics. That's your choice, but it's not required. Stash tabs are all bought with in-game money. You don't have to pay for stash tabs, which is something that Path of Exile does wrong, in my opinion. And you have more than 6 stash tabs, which is amazing coming from Diablo 4, where they can't manage to have more than 6 stash tabs because they have to load everybody's stash into your game, which makes no sense.
I don't understand the whole.
So
yeah.
Oh, no.
They give you 200 stash tabs. and the stash tabs are giant.
Dre and I spoke about this earlier, but there aren't many genres where when the game messes up, you can just like pick up the ball and be like, "It's my ball now, yay!" And I feel like the action RPG, like the Diablo likes, is that genre where because Diablo 4 messed up so badly, this can thrive because of it.
Exactly. Yeah.
If Diablo 4 was on the money, I wouldn't be very hopeful for the prospects of this game. But because Diablo 4 kind of stepped in it, and I say kind of stepped in it, but for the most part, the game is fine as long as you're not engaging at the highest level of the game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's only at the highest level where it goes, this is kind of underbaked, but like you have to be a grinder for that. And Diablo is my fallback game. It's
Right.
like, well, I don't have anything else that I really need to play, so I'm going to play some Diablo 3 for about like 40 hours, and then that's how I pass my time. So I'm kind of a Diablo grinder. So getting to the point of grind in Diablo 4, and it was just like, this gear sucks. I don't see what I can get for it to be better, and I don't know why I'm doing what I'm doing.
The worst sin an ARPG can do is make you feel like you're done.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Once you're
And my highest
once
level
you're done.
My highest level character in Diablo 4 is like 72, 71, and it's just like I just was like, I don't really see, and of course, the worst patch of all time just knocked the desire.
Killed all momentum. Yeah.
And like it's not like I just stopped paying attention. So each season I'm like, okay, we're on season 3 now. So I was like, season 1, I was like, I'm not playing this until they do something about this patch. Then season 2, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna wait and see what it's like. And they go, oh man, mages have like the best build. And I'm like, okay, maybe. And then a couple days later, it's actually a bug. Like,
oh no.
Like, you know what? I'm probably gonna pass. And to their credit, they're like, we're not gonna nerf it. We're just gonna let it rock.
Okay.
And they let it rock, and it actually was not the best build.
That's funny.
By the end of that season, they had barbarians doing billions of damage.
Barbarians were also bugged.
And it was like, I thought you guys didn't want Diablo 3 numbers, but here you are.
Here we are.
We're in billion damage range already.
That was fast. Didn't that take like several years to get to that in 3?
Yeah, It took a very long time because Diablo 3, they made the decision that they would not nerf things.
Yeah.
They would just try to buff things up.
They just built on the nonsense every time.
They just kept building and building and building until it reached absurdity. I was fine with it. I had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah,
I like seeing dumb big numbers.
Yes.
Don't we all?
Yeah, we do, but the dumb big numbers have to mean something.
Right. I mean, like, once you reach the point of you can't make the game harder, which they did. They actually reached the integer cap of Diablo 3. So there was like, we can't make the game any harder. So there was like, all right, well, we can't keep buffing at this point. Like, something has to come down. So before like they entered maintenance mode, which they're currently in right now, they did a whole bunch of across the board nerfs and balances to try to keep everything like within a certain range of each other. And it's in a good spot right now.
Diablo 3.
Diablo 3. Right. And it's just like, you guys had these people working on Diablo 3. Why don't you have them working on Diablo 4? Because they seem to know what they're doing.
Right.
Because I don't know what's going on with your Diablo 4 guys, but the team doesn't seem to know what they're doing. Like, the team that put out Season 1 and put out Season 3 don't seem to know what they're doing.
I didn't realize it was a different team.
Yeah. So the Season 2 team did it, and it was very well received, and people were like, okay, the game's going to take off now. And then Season 3 came out, and they're like,
we're bored again.
This isn't good, guys. Yeah. Y'all didn't get it. And now next season they're supposed to be redoing the loot because the loot in Diablo 4 is just atrocious. It's like you get these items that say plus damage to enemies over 80% HP.
Yeah,
And it's just like
plus.
Are you fucking serious?
No,
plus
yeah.
damage to slowed enemy.
Yeah, plus 15% cold damage on Tuesday. Yeah.
And
There's a lot of contingencies into these.
There are so many affixes in the game. There's so many like damage buckets, and when you get an item, literally none of them feel good unless it says plus crit chance, because you know that's gonna work.
Yeah, New World had that problem for a long time, where a bunch of it just. I still play New World, but like. Yeah, so like they fixed a lot of it recently. They actually overhauled the item system recently, and things are a lot better. But like some of those were just fucking like this is garbage. like 98% of the items I'm getting are just fucking trash. Does not feel good. Does not feel good.
This last epoch, it's got items that actually feel good. Which is nice.
It's fucking
and
key,
the
man.
best part is like if your item doesn't feel good, they give you things to do to make that item feel good. So you can dismantle your items, and when you dismantle them, you actually get their affixes. And you can then put those affixes on something else.
That's beautiful.
And then when you're done with that something else, you can dismantle it and get some of those affixes back. So
you can recycle your stuff.
You could just make your items and they can just feel good because you have control over them. This is like to a point, right? You can't craft the best stuff in the game. You do have to get it to drop.
Okay.
But while you are getting that best stuff to drop, you have pretty much perfect agency over your gear.
You're supplemented with shit that you actually want to use.
Yes, and the stuff you don't want to use becomes fodder for the stuff you do want to use.
It's beautiful.
So, like, say you're playing a magic class, which, spoiler, I am playing a magic class.
What? Get out of here!
That's here. I can't believe it.
Yeah, I was forced to pick something different because I'm like, I don't want 2 mages running around.
So, if an item drops from me and it's plus physical damage and I don't need that, I can still dismantle it and get that ability, that affix. And if I use a certain item, I can put that affix onto something and then have it automatically randomly change to something else. So even the things that you don't want have a use.
There is a really, really cool feature with item trading in this game that I discovered off of a tooltip where it said if you play with one person for an extended period of time, there's a system in place where if an item that drops for you is something that they would want and they're not online to receive it, you could hold it for them and trade it to them later.
Neat.
Yeah.
That's cool.
You can actually just send it to them.
Yeah.
You can just say, hey, I'm going to gift this item, and they will just get it when they log in.
Mm-hmm.
That's nice.
Which I think is a really, really great thing.
That's really cool.
That's like whoever thought of that. What a great decision that was.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. I don't know how often that's going to happen, but I love the possibility of it.
It's cool that it can happen.
Oh yeah.
Well, the game is not trying to be oppressive, so
right.
No,
Yeah,
it's not.
It wants you to fucking play and have fun.
Yeah. So far, that's what it seems like it's built to do. So we'll see.
And I'm not at end game yet. I'm just under level 50. I'm like level 40, 48 or something. But from what I've seen, the end game is pretty robust. There's like 3 different end game activities that you can take part in. Diablo 4 still doesn't really have any.
No.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I mean,
it's my ball now. I'm running with it.
Yeah. When games came out several years ago, and they like a shooter game came out, they were like, "Oh, this is the Halo killer," and none of them were ever.
Nope.
The Halo killer.
No.
The only thing that killed Halo
was Halo.
Halo. Every time. The only you know what the World of Warcraft killer is? World of Warcraft.
World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
Correct.
City killer?
Yeah.
City.
The only way it ever happened the other way was once. And ironically, it was also World of Warcraft.
Right.
Yeah, World of Warcraft was the EverQuest killer, right?
Yes, which is where that whole idea came from in the first place.
Yeah.
But yeah, it takes something else to fail for the front runner to be successful.
Right. And it's generally just the front runner failing, and not really much else. Yeah, but I'm
glad the game is also good.
Yeah,
yes.
I've been having a lot of fun with this. The server issues are kind of
they'll get resolved
definitely
eventually.
Obnoxious, but like I survived Diablo 3's launch.
Do you lose progress when if the game crashes on you? Okay.
It's very good with its saving.
That's good then.
That's nice.
The only thing that I guess the biggest issue is there's no map permanence in the game. And by that I mean so none of the maps, as you're going through the story, none of the areas are randomly generated. The story is actually all crafted maps, and the end game activities are randomly generated. So you're in a town, and you leave that town. When you come back to that town, your mini map actually just doesn't exist for that town anymore.
Yeah, it's something
I'd
like
weird
to see fixed.
And they actually
that sounds like a bug.
It's not. So they asked this of the developers, and they were like, "We actually do this to save on some memory."
Okay.
So it's a purposeful decision, but they said that they would like for it to not do that. But that's how it is. So now, if you say fight a boss, and you're like, "Oh, this boss drops stuff. I want to pick it up, but I don't have any space." So you port back to town to try to handle that, and you come back in to that town portal. That boss respawns.
All that stuff you left in the ground is gone.
So there's some stuff going on with the map permanence.
Yeah,
oh boy,
that's kind of a big deal.
Well, it is and it isn't, because you're not going to pick up a lot of stuff that's you're going to keep. Yeah.
So this game also conditions you to not get in the habit of picking up everything.
Okay.
And the way it does that is by having functional loot filters, so that when something drops, and you can just specify the stuff you're looking for. So if you're saying, I'm playing a lightning sorcerer, so I want lightning damage. So if something drops and has lightning damage, I can have the game highlight it for me. It can put it in all caps. I can change its color. And if it doesn't have lightning damage, I can just basically have it not appear. It still drops. So if I wanted to toggle off the loot filter, I could still see it. You can see that it drops, but you're not able to pick it up.
Right.
And you just have to get in the habit of ignoring it, because it's not something that you want. And they hammer that home by making things not sell for a lot.
Yeah. They don't sell for very much at all.
Okay.
So you say, okay, well, I'm going to pick these up and sell them. And there's no reason to, because
it's not worth it.
15 gold, and they take up all of your inventory. So you just don't pick up things that you don't want.
That's a fun and interesting solution.
I like that.
You don't have to look at the things. You don't have to pick it up and look at it, because you can set your filter to tell you, hey, if this shows up, it has something you want.
And there's a easy way to get around all that. If you want to quickly disable the loot filters, there's a button you can hold X, it turns it off, and then you release X, turns it back on. So you can just quickly disable it with a button click and do what you need to do.
Do you have to walk over the item, or just mouse over the item to see what it is?
Oh, its name will just pop up. So it's just knowing what the app
Got it.
Blah 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 of the ox. So it's plus HP.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm enjoying my time with this game. And I'm hoping that the server issues get resolved relatively quickly. I mean, they're working on it, but the progress has kind of been slow. The team is small. It's not a giant team, but
buddy,
it's not a giant team, but it has 10-cent money.
Okay.
So people are less understanding about it. But I mean, it's still kind of a small team. So
yeah, still manpower has to do that. Money doesn't fix it. Well,
yes.
Money can't fix it,
but you still need people to fix it.
Right.
Let's see, we have a
We
cat.
have a cat.
Oh,
Yes,
look at
fine.
this.
This is Sans. Hey, buddy. Want to say hi?
For audio listeners, we have a cat.
Yeah. He's not chatty at the moment, which
Yeah.
is good. Hey, buddy.
This cat is clawing all over him. It's rather adorable.
He's so cute.
Honorary member.
Yeah, just figured. Yeah, his name is Sans, named after exactly who you think he's named after. Because we're in full scale Undertale trash now, which I already profess to being. So,
Well, you know what? It's black and white, so
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, Claire suggested it, and I'm like, oh hell yeah.
so I've been playing that. The other thing I've been mostly spending my time on is with Persona 3 Reload.
Well, finally,
Oh, boy.
Theo can talk.
Funny,
He
I
actually
have-
hasn't been playing it.
Oh,
Or you,
okay.
I have been playing, but very slowly. I've been playing something that all of you guys been playing, so I just chime in here and there.
I'm waiting. Well, I'm Theo and I have a game to talk about too. Still, so
Okay. Yeah, what? Like, it's a surprise hit, actually.
yes.
I'm so happy that Dre is now playing the best Persona game.
Oh boy,
Well,
here
it's
we
not,
go.
but it's definitely better now that it's Persona 5 Part 4. So I played Persona 3 on the PS2 when it came out, and I was like, this game is so oppressive. It's not even fun to me how oppressive this game is. Like, I understand being challenged by his stuff, but like, there are cats.
I'm sorry. I know he's so distracting. I can't get work home like done at home anymore, dude. It's ridiculous.
Hey, Sans, you wanna chill out a bit?
Buddy, take it easy, okay?
So-
Sorry, he's gonna sleep. He's gonna sleep on me in a minute. So
Okay.
don't worry.
All right.
Sorry.
So Persona 3, very impressive with its time. Persona games generally give you 2 periods during the day to do stuff, a day period and a night period and whatever. So there's a lot of social links, they're called, where you make your friendships. There's a lot of them. And in the original version of the game, if you don't respond perfectly, bad things can happen. And these bad things can be the friend just doesn't want to talk to you for maybe a couple weeks. Or an even worse thing is you could de-level your friend. And then you have to replay that scene to get back up to the level. So these kind of suck. And they're not fun. And Theo loves them. I don't know why. That game has a very tight, very, very tight schedule for getting things done.
tight. You cannot do it without a guide.
And
So what's the fun in that?
it's honestly, to me, it wasn't. So I never actually finished it. And it's Persona 3 is one of those one dungeon games where you just go through this one dungeon repeatedly and you get further and further in it, but it's always just this one dungeon. So
The scenery changes, but it is
Yes.
ostensibly just the one dungeon in the game.
so I got bored of it, and it was I'm bored of the gameplay of this game. I'm not bored of the story of the game. I thought the story was great, but I just was like, the story wasn't pushing me to play through the game anymore because I just did not find playing the game very fun. I believe Portable fixed some of that,
Yes.
and
Portable made it that you can now control your party members, and
yeah, that was another thing that was garbage about.
the
fuck?
fatigues. I'll get to that.
No wonder you like this game, Theo. Jesus
the-
Christ.
The fatigue system, I believe, was gone in the.
No,
Portable
it was in Portable.
It was still in Portable. Okay.
Yes, it was still important. Yeah, there's another thing. While you're traversing this one dungeon, your characters can get tired and sick and basically halt your progress, or you're not going to be able to use them the next time you want to go in the dungeon.
Yes.
Also, your main character can get tired, and that's just it.
It's just done. Yeah. If you get tired, you get sick, you cannot concentrate in school. It's a bunch of bad things.
Yes.
So
This game, the original version of this game, I felt did not respect my time. And this was when I had the time to play games that did not respect my time.
Yeah, it's bad.
So this version of the game basically throws all of that out and just says, you know what? This game is Persona 5 with the Persona 3 story and characters.
Yep.
And now it's great. It's perfect.
So it's kind of like a remaster of Persona 3 using.
Oh, it's a
complete
remake. Yeah.
Like it is
remake.
Gorgeous. It is. Oh my god, they just did. So I've spoken about Persona 5 on this podcast before. I enjoy aspects of that game, but I feel like they've rounded off the edges a bit too much for what I like in a dungeon crawler. In that it's very easy, and they've only made it easier with Royal. And why I like Persona 3 other than the characters is it is a bit oppressive. It is like when you go to a dungeon, you'll have like as Dre mentioned, your characters can get tired. There is that push and pull of like, should I go on more or should I just, leave for the next day? And I feel like once you take that, like I'm also playing up. I'm not as far as Dre. I think I just got to summer in the game with things about to pop off. But I'm playing it and I'm kind of bored. Granted, I've beaten this game, like I've beaten the PS2 version, the PSP version, and now playing this one. So I've beaten the game 2 times before. So I know the game. So it's just like more of a fresh paint. But like playing it, I'm like, man, they've taken out all the stuff that, granted, weren't as Dre mentioned, they did not respect your time. And it is a better video game that I will recommend to people, but my heart will always like love the original version because it is so is what I want from a dungeon crawler.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we were talking about this before we started, and you actually brought up a very good point about it. So the Persona 5, at least, has multiple difficulty levels. They had like story, difficulty, easy, normal, hard, merciless. And these difficulty settings basically did nothing but change damage numbers. Mm-hmm. Like, you did more damage on easier and took less, and you did less damage and took more on harder.
AKA bad difficulty scaling.
Yes. And this game does the exact same thing.
Mm-hmm. Well, depending on who you ask, some people like it that way.
I am in agreement with Theo that is not interesting difficulty. And thinking that interesting difficulty makes changes to the game. Yeah. Not necessarily that numbers are different, but like mechanics are different.
Mm-hmm. That's hard to implement. It's really hard. But for an RPG, it's probably easier because there's more freedom to do something like that.
Yeah, I mean, but like, say you're playing a fighting game and it's on 1-star difficulty and the AI is dumb, right? But on 8-star difficulty, it's not like you take more damage from the AI. The AI is just like it's doing smarter things.
Yes,
just reading your input.
Exactly.
But it's ostensibly is doing smarter things.
Yeah.
Right. So like Devil May Cry, that difficulty in that game is just like
enemy positions.
When you play on normal, you get one set of enemies. When you play on hard, you get an entirely different set of enemies that attack you in more aggressive ways.
Yeah, they play it. Everything plays a little differently.
Mm-hmm.
And so it only adds to the game and never takes shit away.
I've never really been much of a fan of RPGs, like pure RPGs with difficulty settings, because like really, what can you do, right? It's just basically changing numbers. But Theo was like, why wouldn't it be a good idea if they put all of that old garbage that I hate as the merciless difficulty? The fatigue is in the game as merciless.
That's hard to argue.
Your social links in merciless, like this would have been great because
I love that.
If you wanted to have that pure Persona 3 experience, they could have given that to you in the hardest difficulty mode, because that's really what the game is. Persona 3, the original game, is basically
hard mode. It really was.
It's like, oh man, I want to go do this dungeon, but I can't because my guys are tired.
Just go play Persona 3. It's still there, right?
Yes, it's still there. You can always.
I'm not arguing. I'm very happy that this remake is out because it there was a lot of good that Persona 4 and especially 5 brought to the series, and seeing it brought back to Persona 3 is welcomed. Like I'm not gonna be mad at it, but as I mentioned earlier, I would like that old school in the difficulty settings. But
it would have been nice. I would definitely sign off on that. I would never play it, but I would sign off on it. I like it when difficulty options that make meaningful changes to the game are there.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, like I'm probably not going to access it, but I like that it exists. I like that Devil May Cry 5 remixes the enemies on harder difficulty levels because that gives you a different change, right? If you want the
that's only one mode though.
Dante must die mode.
No.
Like if you just play on hard, it's just like legitimately harder. And it's not harder because you are like weaker for some reason. It's harder because they made the game harder.
Yeah.
So that's mostly what I've been messing with. The thing that I wanted to get into is Infinite Wealth. I was like, man, there's a lot of things going on, but can't get this game right now. Unicorn Overlord, it's the same thing. I mean, it's not out yet, but it will be out, and I'm going to have to kind of put that one on the back burner because I want to play that because it's basically a tactical game with a gambit system. So, okay, sign me up.
Oh boy. Know what the man likes.
Yeah. It's good that we can get games that we, in genres we like. There's a thing for everybody these days.
The things that we like.
Yeah.
I've already been surprised this year by Pal World because I did not expect that to be anything.
Nobody did.
You're not the only one surprised by Pal World.
What the hell, that game, man?
I didn't expect that to be it. So I ended up getting that, even though that was not anything that I had planned for.
Mm-hmm. Also, nobody planned for Pal World, dude.
Yeah.
the main thing that I didn't plan for is for my child to become a criminal.
Yes.
Needs to be arrested because he has become a graffiti artist.
Oh no!
So
the uncle's old chopping block. I love it. Let's go.
Wait, which uncle?
Me. I'm a fledgling graffiti artist.
Oh, it's your fault.
Sort of.
All right, cool. So you're not coming back to this house.
I've never graffitied your house that you know of.
So this was. Now I'm kind of blanking on when it actually happened because it happened around the time. So my mom had to have like a heart procedure done. It wasn't. It's a heart procedure, so it's a problem because it's a heart procedure, but it wasn't major, right? So it wasn't like a big cause of worry to her, so that means it wasn't a big cause of worry to me.
Mm-hmm. A minor thing for a major organ.
Right. Yeah. But it was still,
Yeah.
Hey,
still scary. Still scary. Yeah, still scary.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yep.
So the night before that happens, I get a text from Nina saying, so Alex found a Sharpie and drew on the walls. I'm like,
oh.
All right.
I mean, look.
I can't. All right.
This is the classic parent thing. This is some sitcom shit right here, man.
Yeah, let's hear the rest of it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's more.
Well, first I'm wondering how the hell you got a Sharpie.
Mm-hmm.
But whatever. All right. It's not like I didn't expect this to happen. He's drawn on the walls before.
Yeah.
And never with a Sharpie.
Mm-hmm.
But he's drawn on the walls before.
Walls are just big paper.
It's a canvas. A very large canvas.
I'm so upset right now.
I get home, and it's a gold Sharpie.
Oh, no. The sparkly ones? The glittery ones?
So, yeah, he drew on the walls, and he drew on the curtains, and he drew on a wooden end table,
and
he drew on the floor, and he drew on the TV.
I was worried you were gonna say the TV.
So I actually know how to get Sharpie off of TV.
Okay.
You just run over it with a dry eraser.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
However, kind of tired of this TV. This TV turns on by itself. Like, there was one night I was just sitting in the bed, and then like I heard the TV go on, and I got up, I turned it off, I got back in the bed, and as soon as I touched the bed, it turned back on. And I was like, why are you turning on by yourself? So I ended up unplugging it. There was one.
So it's a demon TV to go along with demon clock.
That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Right.
One of them poltergeists.
There was one night that I just woke up and like I had the TV on. I had TV on Fox because it was some game, I don't remember what it was, that I was watching the night before. So I wake up in the morning and I hear these like squawking Fox News people going nuts, and I'm just like, oh God, why am I waking up to this?
Right.
And I was just like, so I was tired of this TV. It kept running out of memory, even though there was nothing on the TV.
Doesn't make any
So
sense.
it would just like shut off.
Your TV has dementia.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
I put the old girl out.
I could fix this TV screen, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to buy it.
Right.
So I'm like, you know what? Cool, I'm going to buy a new TV. So $1,500 later, I have a new TV. I didn't have to get a $1,500 TV, but I was.
And you didn't have to blame your son and say he's a criminal because.
Oh, no, he's a criminal because he's he's a graffiti artist.
He's a vandal. He's a vandal.
He's not.
Sure. He's not a criminal until he's caught.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
All right.
But I caught him, so he's a criminal.
He has appropriate discipline has been applied, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
So I was really in like no mental state to like address it really, you know, because it was like the day before my mom's procedure.
Right.
So I was just like, I'm just gonna get this TV.
Yeah.
So I just got the TV.
Did you get the LG? Did you get the LG? Did you get the LG?
No, because the old TV was an LG.
Okay.
So I got a Samsung.
Samsung.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which cut into my probably more pressing need of getting a new phone.
Still gave Samsung your money, right?
Yeah, Samsung's getting my money either way.
There's plenty of good refurbished ones out there that'll hold you over for what you need.
Yeah.
I just get Pixels now, man.
Yeah.
Nobody's calling you. You're fine.
Yeah.
My phone is still all right. It's doing okay that I can manage to make it wait for a few months.
Yeah. Look, it's if it's not like it's on life support, you have it where you have it like attached to like the battery.
He's going to go to Alex and be like, "Hey, want that gold marker? Want that gold marker? Here's Daddy's phone.
I need a phone.
This phone it's still all right. Okay. It's not.
All right.
It's only when I only think about replacing my phone once my phone starts shutting off at 75%.
Yeah,
that's not good.
my phone still holds a charge, and if I don't touch it for a couple of days, it's not dying.
And even then, I'd only rather just replace the battery. But sometimes it's just more expensive.
You can't do that.
You can't do that anymore for most phones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like if for same thing for me. If like for my phone, it's like once it starts, like the last one that I had to replace, it was like it would heat up. It was like, oh no, it was like getting real warm. I was like, oh boy, that's not good. I just didn't want to explode in my pocket or, burn my house down or, insert fucking God knows awful electrical accidents here.
I think the big warning sign these days is battery inflation. I don't mean that. I don't mean that in the.
Oh, when it starts getting puffy.
Yeah, when it starts getting puffy. That's when your fucking battery's gonna explode.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's basically been what's going on.
Yeah. So it's been cutting into your finances, is what you're saying.
Yeah. So it's a little bit smarter for me to not necessarily buy the games that I'm not going to be immediately playing.
Yeah.
Kids are expensive.
What a coincidence. You got a TV right before Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. That's so crazy. Whoa.
Yeah, real strange coincidence. It's almost like somebody whispered into Alex's ear, like, Alex, the TV looks like a real nice,
I wonder where he got that
board.
Sharpie from.
Right, yeah. It's not a mystery anymore.
It wasn't for me because I need to have Sharpies.
Oh,
but yeah, I already have Final Fantasy VII.
Mm-hmm. And you'll play that day one. So
purchased.
It
was already purchased.
Yeah, of course it was.
So it was not eating into the finances any.
Right.
And I was like, I really don't like pre-ordering things anymore. But it's just like
That's one though. Like
I know
you might as well.
There is no planet on this like universe that game would release. I'm not playing it day one.
Right.
It was just like I'm just gonna get it because you know what? You don't know what's gonna happen in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I could get fired tomorrow and not be able to play that game because now it's an issue. It's like I had the money 6 months ago, so I just
bought that shit.
I just got it.
Yep.
And it's like you pre-budgeted essentially.
Yes.
Right. You put money into the budget for that, and you just decided, let me just get this expenditure done, and you're done with it. Yeah.
Budget for that. Budget for a gold marker.
That's pure wife material there with the gold marker. You know.
All right, you going out, buddy? You going out? Okay.
Yeah. Time
There
to
you go.
get out of here, cat. Yeah. Rah, meow, cat. Skedaddle.
Can't hear you.
Ship him off to Abu Dhabi.
Oh boy, it's not normal.
He's not normal. He's way cuter than normal.
I can't really.
You're right. Myanmar is further.
So
I'm just like taking a look at my Steam library right now, and yeah, that's pretty much what I've mostly been playing. I didn't get anything new on my Switch, and my PlayStation. I've basically been downloading PlayStation Plus free games that I've missed.
Yep.
Or I haven't gotten to. So there was like a whole bunch of random stuff that I was touching, but I was just like, all of this is just holding me over until at that time Persona 3 dropped. So
there you go.
I cannot believe
I beat
that
Final Fantasy 6 again, by the way, because
the patch.
they gave us the God patch.
Yeah, they did. I cannot believe that Sega put out 2 Persona games a week apart from one another. I cannot believe that.
And Like a Dragon at the same time?
Like
No, Like a Dragon is the Persona game.
Oh,
I cannot believe
okay.
like
all right.
Kalo's like, how are you gonna play both of these? And I was like, I don't know.
I'm not.
Did you ever get Persona working on your Steam Deck?
I did.
Okay.
A patch came out that fixed it. That made
Oh,
tolerance 60 frames.
it wasn't verified on the Steam Deck
It
until recently?
was, but it was weird. The art, the ray tracing was left on kind of in the code, and then it was just weird.
Do you have one of the old LED ones?
Steam Decks?
Yeah.
No, he has
Yeah,
OLED.
I have
Okay.
both.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was working fine on my ROG.
Mhm.
I have the ROG and the Steam Deck, but I haven't really used the Steam Deck that much recently because I find that the ROG is fitting my wants better.
Hmm.
It meant more when I was playing Diablo 4. But now that I'm not playing Diablo 4, it doesn't really.
Wait, you're playing last. I keep saying Epic. Last Epoch.
Well, Epoch.
Epoch.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, that game does actually want to be Chrono Trigger.
I was gonna say that sounds like it wants to be Chrono Trigger.
There is an end of time with a Sage Gaspar.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
They're definitely taking some
Wow.
inspiration from something.
I mean,
Yeah.
I know you guys don't care, but is the story good?
No. it's kind of
It's
fine.
It's fine.
it serves its purpose. It's a
Yeah.
generic
It exists.
fantasy.
It's
Yeah.
a fine story.
Okay.
It pushes the narrative along.
Okay,
It's-
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. Service.
It is
service-
nowhere near as good as Diablo 4's story.
Yeah.
And it's probably on like the same level as Diablo 3.
Yeah, it's a fantasy time travel story, and it'll probably be fun.
It'll be over.
It'll be a story.
Yeah.
It'll be over.
It's a
And then I
game.
can play the game.
Nothing that'll set you alight though. Nothing that nothing you haven't seen already before, but it's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. That's
That is-
fine. Sometimes
That's okay.
sometimes you
curious.
just need somebody to tell you a different way to tell you a story you've heard before. That's all.
Yeah,
Yep.
the story is just there as a mechanic to push the game along.
Yes.
Totally
And-
fine.
As a
For
setting.
for the ARPG setting,
it needs a setting,
genre,
and there it
that's-
is. Yeah.
that's perfectly fine. That's
Mhm.
that's what people expect, kind of.
Yeah, if there was
Alright.
no story, it'd be feeling a little empty.
Yeah. Just do these random things.
Yeah.
It'll be like Diablo 3 when you once you finish the
Adventure
story
mode.
and never touch it again and just do adventure mode. It's like
Mhm.
you're just doing this stuff for no reason.
Yep.
Which is, you know, the map is everything's really pretty in that game.
Yeah,
Really
and
good.
apparently, like I bought the game maybe like a week before it came out because I was like, I'm pretty sure I'm getting this.
Mhm.
And I loaded it up and I'm like, yeah, this game looks pretty average. And I played it for like an hour. And then like the 1.0 came out and I played it again. I'm like, okay, this game looks above average actually. Like they actually did a very in-depth graphics pass.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Like if you look at the promotional videos for this, like everything looks so flashy. Like yeah, shit
want
is
my
happening.
RPGs to- I
Shit
want my
is
RPGs to
happening.
be flashy.
Yeah, you want your RPGs to be. You want everything to be flashy, right?
Those effects by a pop boy.
Yep.
All right. I think there's at least one more game that we need to talk about.
Yes.
So
You want to dive into it?
Oh, that's good. That's good.
let's have actually Theo start talking about
Yeah,
it.
Theo,
because
you
Theo
introduce
hasn't
it.
said
No,
anything.
Chris, you could go ahead. I was actually going to.
Wow.
Mhm.
Theo's
God damn
just-
it.
Wait, what? There's something else?
Yes, there is.
Okay.
All right.
Well,
Well,
I'm actually
okay.
interested in this. Let me. What is this other thing?
Oh, Grand Blue Fantasy Relink.
Oh,
That's another game that I was not expecting to be as interestingly cool as it was, and I was like, I was like 3 seconds away from getting it. I'm just like, I can't put this money on this game right now.
I'll jump right into it. So it's basically that what if Platinum Games made an action RPG, added a couple dozen playable characters that all completely play different from one another, use Final Fantasy 14, Phantasy Star Online, Monster Hunter as its reference for boss battles. Its setting is very similar to Skies of Arcadia and has amazing art and fantastic music.
He said this is platinum.
It's not platinum.
It's not Platinum, but Platinum was the so the development of this game is crazy.
Because 2B just was put into Grand Blue Fantasy Versus. Yeah.
Yes. So Platinum originally created this game. This game was in development for like 8 years. It was like in development hell. Like I was like actually reading a story about this, and I remember when they first announced it, and I'm like, there's no way this game is going to be good because Platinum got kicked off of the project, and
their name's like scrubbed off the website. It was weird.
It's fucking wild.
It was weird.
It's not CyberConnect. It's Grand Blue's. I forgot. It's
Cygames.
Cygames. Yes, thank you. Cygames in-house developed the game, right? And I'm like, there's no way this game is going to be good. It's almost a decade in development. They changed developers, like whatever. Saw the opening, saw like a trailer for it, and I was like, this actually looks okay. This looks okay. And then people were like talking about like, hey, it is like a loot game where action RPG elements with like crazy combat and like a crazy post game, all this shit. So I'm like, you know what? Let me give it a shot. It is as if if I took everything I wanted from every game I loved and put it into one game, it is this game.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
You waited an hour and 40 minutes to talk about this?
You guys are
holding on.
Patient man,
Yeah, I don't think you can get that word in.
You've been holding on to that for an hour and a half. Like, wow.
Dude,
The patient man, this Theo.
like I'm
He's a patient guy.
so it takes like the stuff like I love with fighting games, right? Fighting games have like this myriad of characters that all play different from one another, but it puts it in the frame of an action RPG where you can play with 3 other people, and each character has completely different play styles, completely different builds, and there's a incredible. I won't say it's an incredible story, but like the set pieces in the story is like just bonkers. When you beat the game, there's a post game that can honestly last for hundreds of hours, and
That's the Monster Hunter part of it.
it's I was not like I think everybody has a game here they weren't expecting to like kind of be that game to be like, whoa, this is fucking taking over my life. Like this came out, and really what this game was for me was gonna be the game I play in between Yakuza, because like I said, I can't play it unless Kayla's watching it. So I was like, I'll just throw this on the Steam Deck and like, you know, bang out some missions and stuff like that. And I've just been like, when Kayla's ready to watch Yakuza, she's like, You're still playing Grand Blue, and
Can
I'm
you
like,
get off of that?
okay, all right. I'll do one.
There's
more
one more.
because it's man, it's so good, and I haven't even like really gotten into the online elements yet because I'm still waiting to like build up characters. Each character has a robust like you have between offensive, defensive, and like masteries with their skills, and each one could take you at least maybe 15 to 20 hours to actually master each one. And there's a 24 different characters in the game. That game is just bonkers. Like it is.
I was not expecting what I saw out of that game. I was not.
Yeah.
The first time I saw that game, I legitimately thought that it was somebody made it an action Final Fantasy 14.
Wasn't that
No,
kind of like that's what Genshin Impact looked like?
No,
Yeah.
no. This game,
Yeah.
when I say it looks like the life bars, the boss life bars, the font of the numbers that pop up, I'm just like
the AoEs that you have to dodge in. So
The same orange. It's orange.
some of them most of them are
Okay.
red. But,
Red.
like
Okay.
but yes.
I'm playing this game and I'm like, oh my god, this is why I don't like Final Fantasy 14 because it doesn't play. It's not fun to play. I love everything about that game except the part of playing it. But then like Grand Blue is like the action version of Final Fantasy 14. But I just fought this lava boss and I'm doing my rotations. I'm like the AI, my AI teammates are like boosting me, like buffing me up, and I'm like, holy shit, this is an MMO, but just a single player. And then there is an MMO part, like not an MMO actually, but
four
like
player.
There's multiplayer.
4-player co-op where you could just like fight these mobs and like crazy bosses. It is my dream game.
Yeah, this was another game that was on the list of I need to get this, and I just didn't have the bandwidth to get it.
Yeah.
The rest of this year is going to be full because even if nothing else comes out, I'm sitting in at least 3 games right now.
Yeah,
Dude,
I still
this
have games from last year I need to play.
Yeah, I have games from last year still. Like,
Didn't even touch Baldur's Gate 3 yet.
I
Same.
haven't played Armored Core.
Yep. And then I want to play Armored Core bad.
Yeah.
I'll be happy to play Baldur's Gate 3 with people again, by the way.
I know.
Joe, when I start that game up, I want to play multiplayer with you. So
But
I'll let you know.
I thought you were getting on PlayStation.
I might double dip for that.
I thought it had crossplay, but yeah,
Does
it
it?
doesn't.
I'll probably double dip for it, honestly.
I thought it did, but I might be wrong. Yeah.
Well, I'll probably pick it up when it's on sale
Okay.
for PC. So
All right, we'll see. But anyway,
Yeah.
I had no idea this the Grand Blue Relink thing was a thing.
yeah, and it's excellent. Yeah.
I didn't know it was a thing until like a week before it came out.
Yep, same. You know,
It seems
so-
like it would have. Sorry, Dre, to cut you off, but it seems like this would be kind of like the same kind of scratch the same itch that last Epoch would. Yeah,
I mean, like if you're hard up for like a Monster Hunter style progression game,
well, maybe I'm not so much hard up for that. I guess I don't actually know what I'm hard up for. I think
I think you're
cup,
good.
my cup is pretty full. Oh, here's the cat
Yeah.
again.
Sorry.
so the person I mostly get my Final Fantasy 14 news from, I don't play Final Fantasy 14 anymore, but like
Mhm.
I still try to keep up with what's going on because it was a game that I did enjoy my time with.
Mhm.
So I don't want to just like leave it out to pasture. Like I'm interested in knowing what's happening in that game still.
Yeah.
So
Of course.
Likewise.
the person that I go to to get that information for is this guy named Mr. Happy. And he normally gets like invited to the events and stuff, and he has like a lot of first videos on what's going on in the game. And he's pretty cool with Square, so he also gets like a lot of first videos on not Final Fantasy 14 stuff, but other things from them, such as like he was invited to the Final Fantasy 7 event not too long ago, and he had information about that. And so I get a lot of my stuff from him. So he was like, one day, I'm going to play this Grand Blue, and he like had it up on the stream, and I'm just watching him playing. I'm just like, is this? Did you just pick this because it looks like Final Fantasy 14? But yeah, he's like going through like his like character like moves and stuff and his rotations, and I'm just like, what is going on here? Like, what is this game? And then like he's getting into endgame and he's doing like his repeatable missions and stuff, and I'm just like, I was like, yo, Capcom got me with Monster Hunter World. Like they really did. It took a long time,
but they got him.
They did get me.
Yeah.
So they were like they announced the new one, which the name is Wilds.
Wilds, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, all right, I'm probably gonna get that.
Yep. Yeah. Now you got a front. Look at him. Look at him.
I'm probably gonna.
Who is this guy?
But then this game came out. I'm like, actually, this is probably more my speed.
There you go. Get to avoid that.
So maybe
I like this, but this is brilliant.
I mean, this one is anime, and I don't like anime, but I like anime art. So
the presentation is just spectacular. All the money is into this game.
Well, yeah, it's the fucking the Grand Blue artist is the Final Fantasy Tactics artist. So the fucking art design's incredible.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so the art design's like fucking immaculately beautiful. And Vagrant Story.
That's why everything looks like a stained glass window.
Yes, that's why it looks so good. Right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Solve that fucking mystery for y'all.
So now I will. I guess we will get to the closeout.
Jesus Christ, dude!
Of this last game that's been going through. Theo basically played everything that everybody else played.
I really did.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I even have other. I beat Final Fantasy 1 and 2 just the other day. Like I don't even talk about those.
Yeah. Well, I beat Mega Man X
for that patch, by the way.
I beat a bunch of Mega Man X's the other day because
Sorry, Chris.
Yeah,
that's the only reason I beat Final Fantasy 2 because I cannot deal with the encounter rates in that game.
Yeah, of course.
Turn off encounters 4x
straight up.
Stat gain. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I beat Mega Man X for its 30th anniversary a couple weeks ago.
Nice.
Because that
was very difficult.
Oh yeah, it took like 45 minutes or something. Well, still like. But you gotta get the Hadouken, so you
gotta take the time to do that. Sure.
So Claire watched me play through. So I played X1 and X4, and Claire had never seen the X4 cutscenes.
Oh my god, really?
Ooh, that's a treasure.
So like,
it's so nice watching things with people who've never experienced things before.
Right, and she was like, "This is horrible," awful. And I'm like, "I know it's the most beautiful thing in the world."
And like, here's the thing: it's had years of quality content like it to make it seem even more terrible than it was then. Like back then, it's like, yeah, this is what cutscenes are.
Yeah,
that's just what it is. Yeah.
Like, back then.
Back then, they just
bad.
Back then, Capcom and Konami just went and found white people on the street in Japan and then threw their voice actors into the game.
Hey, miserable pile of secrets into this mic, and you could go on your way.
Or like the Dr. Light line where he messes up, but they just kept it in.
Mega Man. It's like, Jesus Christ, he stuttered in the middle of that. They didn't even get to the take. They're like,
perfect.
I need to do that again.
I miss it.
I do too. There's something beautiful about, like, beautifully awful about it. So that was a little fun. That was a little fun little like side note. But as for insane things that I was not ready for, fucking Helldivers 2.
Yeah, when you can play it.
Well, they apparently
it's better now, right?
Yeah, apparently they fixed a lot of the problems. And also,
what's it? Another game that's DJ Khaled suffering from success over here.
Yeah, pretty much, man. It was another one. And it was because it was like you tried to they weren't ready. They just weren't ready. They didn't. Yeah. Well, it's amazing what happens when you put out a fucking quality title that's $40, and suddenly everybody with a PlayStation or a PC fucking buys it. Because the first, I am one of the few people who played the first one.
That game flew way under the radar.
So the first one you could like feel the potential in there, but it's because of its I think its perspective didn't do it any favors. You know, it felt kind of more like just like another like Red Solstice, which I'm a big fan of. But like I preferred Red Solstice just because like I know something about the way Red Solstice played felt a little better and like suited to its top-down viewpoint. And now that the camera has shifted to a third-person action game, that was the key. And
like,
suddenly,
it's like going from Grand Theft Auto 2 to 3.
Right, it's exactly it. That's the only other way I can describe
So
like the feeling.
I own the first Helldivers and on PC and never booted it up.
Yeah.
I saw Helldivers 2, like a trailer, and I was like, yeah, I'll get this.
Yeah, when I saw that it was like third person, I went, oh my god. And I remember thinking to myself, like, yo, if this catches on, this is going to be huge. Because I don't know if you guys, so like you are Captain Propaganda Man. You know, you have your own ship. It's Starship Troopers, right? So what's really cool though is everything that you do matters.
Yeah,
you are contributing to the big fight. Okay,
the democracy.
You're spreading the democracy of
Don't
Super Earth.
Yes,
that's right.
The democracy.
Managed democracy of Super Earth. Okay, so you're fighting on these two fronts. One of them is the robot front, and the other is the bug front. Okay, so there's like two different kinds of like enemies that you're dealing with. The more levels you get, the more access to difficulty you have. When you play on higher difficulties, you get more XP, and you get like these power-ups. Essentially, I'm blanking on like what they're called, right? Stratagems. Okay, and essentially you press a button and you enter a little Konami code.
I was about to say that's my favorite part of this game.
Yeah, and you bring down your stratagems, right? And your stratagems can be extra weapons, supplies, tools,
support
stuff, fucking airstrikes,
the anti-life equation.
The airstrikes are definitely the anti-life equation. Let me tell you.
For all parties involved,
because you have to make sure, like when you call the shit down, right, it puts down a little beacon because all of your support comes from your ship. You're only like one dude on the ground, no vehicles yet. Old one had like little mini mechs you can run around in eventually, which we're gonna get to at some point, I'm sure.
This game looks like it needs motorcycles. We need motorcycles in this game.
We'll get there. I think we'll get there. I think once they start getting vehicles in this game is gonna really get nuts. Mm-hmm. But like, you're gonna have to be very high level to get like your vehicle access, I would imagine. But when you throw the shit down, you can kill your friends by accident. Like you got to make sure, like when you're calling shit down. Or if you're like using one of the nukes to go off and it sends that shit, and you get to watch the nuke that you send off into the distance. You get to watch it and like, you know, you pull your emotes and everybody salutes as like the nuke gets to take off in the background.
But you shouldn't, because if you look in the direction of a nuke, you're probably going blind.
I mean, you know.
Space helmets are fine.
Yeah, your space helmets do all the work for you. You're fine.
Don't far enough away from it, you know.
Joe, don't you question the might of Super Earth, okay? And
at all, sir.
I'm not. It's the
flash I won't hear
of
this.
An atomic bomb I'm worried about. That's the scariest.
No, it's atomic freedom.
We figured the technology out in Super.
No, we're breeding atomic freedom and democracy.
Democracy is non-negotiable.
So what's really so like everything about this game gets you hyped up too. Like when you drop down, the music swells, it gets all crazy and patriotic. When you're like going down, like, yeah, we're gonna fucking do this, man. You get so excited, you get so hype because everything is so fucking cool. And then you drop down, and you're like, oh, like you have to be careful where you drop down.
Yeah, fuck yeah, United Space of America.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's incredible, and but like it does, you kind of get into it, and it's all fucking weird and awful like that, right? Because like,
I mean, that's part of the appeal. Like you should get into it, right?
Like I said, like your victories do matter. Like when because it's all you're not fighting other people. It's all cumulative, right?
Mm-hmm.
So everybody's fighting, and every mission that you do matters towards the front. Okay, so like shit is getting like. You'll see like the clusters when you get onto the map, like in certain rings, and every planet there's like a fighting front on each planet and whatnot. And when you win, I mean it's a little bit of percentage, but it counts and it matters. And you know sometimes you got a lot of people are scared of the robot front because it's harder to fight than the bugs right now.
It's hard.
The robots are no joke, and they're scary. They're fucking terrifying. They will They run around with like double chainsaws and shit. You have to have like you have to have anti-armor, which means you're constantly calling down stratagems for like bazookas and shit just to crack the armor of these motherfuckers. And like
and if you have a bazooka and you don't have somebody reloading, you take that shit out because that reload is like 30 seconds, man.
Yeah, it's and like or it's better to use the one-use ones, I think, personally, and just like you fire it and forget it, and then you just go grab another one, come down. Your stratagems are all on cooldowns too, so you can't just spam them. It's 4 players to a party. And apparently, I didn't know this until recently. When you're like descending and like you see all these other ships in like the same sector that you're fighting in, that's all people there. They're all in the same planet. So if you see people like dropping down and shit that's getting called down in the distance, that's other players. So like this game really, you feel the scope and scale of the game.
It's like this. It's kind of like what PlanetSide was trying to do.
Yes,
yeah.
Yes. It reminds me of PlanetSide, and like I love PlanetSide.
Yeah,
PlanetSide. I'm a big fan of PlanetSide. I was a huge fan of the first one. Second one, I played a bunch of it, but like, this game is absolutely excellent. This game is knocking on the door for Game of the Year for me already.
What's the goal for every?
In certain missions,
it's different.
No.
It's different.
No. Forget missions. Like, what are you progressing towards?
Oh, more shit.
Democracy.
Yeah. More cool shit, Joe.
Yeah. Is that
more cool shit to do?
Okay. So it's just
your stratagems.
The war for democracy is never ending. That can
never.
Yes,
sir.
Yes, and as time goes, and there's a lot of content already, free there's because the regular there's the regular battle pass which is free, comes with the game.
So
then there's the second page of shit.
So it's essentially a never-ending war where fronts are going back and forth, swinging in your favor and against your favor, and okay. So
it's a game as a service.
Yeah, it's an MMO.
Wow, did you just liken war to games as a service? That's a scary thought.
Well, I mean, that's what's happening.
It's right?
Modified it, baby.
Yeah.
It's like the self-perpetuating war, man. Like, that's grim.
Yeah.
That's fucking
grim.
I mean,
that's what this game is, man. But like, but it's so fun.
Honestly, I think that's my favorite aspect of it. It's so dumb. So I had a mission today with a couple of my friends, right? And we're like fighting these.
Wait. Is it like Starship? This is like Paul Verhoeven Starship Troopers tongue in cheek?
Yes. 100%. Like it is.
I think I need to play this game, guys.
Joe, you have to play this game. You have to play this game.
The ads in the game. There's one where it says,
hilarious.
If you're over 7, you can join this war effort. I'm like,
it's kind of like. Do you remember? I don't know if you were watching me stream RoboCop at all, but like the radio portions where like there was like they were like talking about like the mundanity of like the mundaneness of like human suffering in that game, and like cheerfully going on about like is your toothbrush causing horrible gum decay? We'll call this lawyer. Like, what? Not gonna ever speak to this.
It's a satire.
Kind of like satire.
Yeah, it's like 100% like patriotical like satire.
So
like it leans in all the way.
So it's Verhovenish.
Yeah, it's super Verhovenish, and like
so I
complete with the fact that like some people could probably not realize it.
All right, I thought I could get away without playing this, but now that you mentioned that,
no, Joe, you have to play this game. Like, and honest to God, it's just fun.
So
it's just fucking fun.
I was playing with some of my friends earlier, and we're doing a mission fighting these T-1000s, and we're waiting to be
their thing.
No. I mean,
he's just calling
robots.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we're waiting to be extracted, and you have to wait. Was it 2 minutes or a minute?
2 minutes. 2 minutes.
And my two friends, they hate each other, but it's like,
you like knock each other,
and they kept killing each other. Like he's like, stop running in front of my gun, and so
Joe, it is full friendly fire on.
Yeah.
So
you cannot turn it off. So
okay, I can respect that.
You got to call shit out communication.
Yeah.
It has a really good ping system if you're not on mic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which is good. Like Apex has like a very like robust ping system, thank God. Mm-hmm. But I'm usually on mic playing, so I don't really care.
I cannot imagine playing this game without a mic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same.
So and we're about to be extracted. So as the ship is lifting off, my friend just shoots my other friend off. And he did not get extracted, and we just fucking lost it.
Yeah,
it was so fucking funny.
Yeah,
It's
like
so
we actually take turns knocking each other down, like when we're trying to get into the ship. It's like you play this game called Corners, all right, in the elevator, and you say Corners, everybody, more than 5 people in there, whoever's in the middle gets essentially destroyed. Like just gets a bunch of dudes just shoulder check the shit out of you. It's like the video game equivalent to that.
Yeah, you want to jostle every people around in an elevator. That's what you want to do.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
And then a third game that is, it took me completely by surprise.
Yeah, same. Like, and even through, and oh man, waiting for those wait times were rough though. Like my worst one was like 3 hours.
What?
Yeah, that was like
last week was maybe last week or 2 weeks.
It was last week. Yeah, I was like 3. Bad. It was I was doing like. I forgot what it was. Oh no, I was doing like some classwork shit, right?
Yeah.
And I had finished it, so I went to go do like more classroom stuff, right? And then I came, like I started the queue up, left, came back, and I still had to wait for like 40 minutes.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's real fun. Is that it counts as your playtime? So my playtime looks dumber than it actually is right now. But like,
because the game is loaded, so that's
Right, exactly. But like, yeah, dude, the game, now that they've like fixed it, and AFK, you get kicked out now, so people can't just.
Yeah, I heard there was an update.
Hold a spot for that.
Exactly. I mean, the thing is though, like once you had somebody in, you could actually get invited, and it would be okay, and it would work just fine. So, but this game, they were not ready for this game. Nobody was ready for this game.
I wasn't.
This came out of nowhere. I'm like, I didn't even know people cared about this game. But I think it's filling like a big itch of like this massive like war like it's delivering on promises that a bunch of games have always wanted to be like Joe said, like kind of like PlanetSide always like kind of wish PlanetSide was, except PlanetSide is all PvP.
Yeah.
And this is PvE. And to kind of like accomplish like a massive PvE scale like this, I think is really fucking impressive.
We don't have to go so far back and talk about PlanetSide. We talk about Suicide Squad. That came out a few weeks prior.
It's true.
Did it?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Helldivers.
It's like what we were talking about, where
eating its lunch.
Games dropping the ball, and other things are running with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's weird. We're getting into a universe where AAA games are floundering. It seems like.
Oh yeah.
It's like by design almost.
Yeah, it's because many of them are chasing trends from 5 years ago, sometimes older.
There's that,
and those trends don't exist anymore.
Right.
Yeah, and it seems like I don't know. Seems like they just want to use failure as like a tax write-off. Like, have you been following this Coyote versus Acme thing?
I was just about to bring that up. Yep, I want to see that movie so badly.
I know, but we might not. You might not be able to.
We more than likely will not.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, apparently, actually, it's actually at a point now where like they like either laws are going to change about like what you're able to write off now, because they're like, okay, you can't keep making things like this, like fully finished products, and then not releasing them.
Yeah.
It's like it doesn't make any sense.
No,
I just want the whole write-off laws to change entirely, because
they have to change entirely because that's stupid.
How cool is it that a landlord can own something, have it abandoned, not try to do anything with it, and claim that property as a write-off?
Yeah, it's crazy to me.
I wonder who lives next to a situation exactly fucking like that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird.
Oh my god. For like that house has been abandoned.
That house has been there for like how long has that been there?
I don't know, since I've known you two.
Yeah.
Before that.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. That's wild.
Yeah. The person who used to live there died in the 80s.
Jesus Christ. That's craziness to me. So
it'd be nice if they changed that whole write-off thing.
Yeah, they definitely need to change that. Oh, that's New York State fucking like property laws. Like, that's why you see so many goddamn like empty storefronts for so fucking long. It's like, yeah, you motherfuckers gotta stop acting like upcharging for like ludicrous rent. And it's like, well, nobody could fill it. Well, it's like, well, how about you fucking bring the price down, lower the rate? What the fuck are you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Get less money, sir.
Incentive.
Get out of here.
Nah, fuck that. Fuck that and fuck them. Sorry, not sorry, but like
rent is too
anyways.
damn high.
Yeah,
we have these games as a service games that are coming out recently, and it's like
nobody wants games as a service. Nobody wants it.
well, I don't know if
but no, they
you can't
do.
say that
you
nobody
can.
wants
You
it.
can
The thing
do
is
it.
that you can't. One person can't put like 3 or 4 games as a service into their roster, right? Like
Right.
if you want to play that type of game, you really can maybe fit 2 at best, right? And
And
like
once you're locked in, you're
that's why
locked in.
nobody wants. What
And
I'm
that's
saying,
it.
nobody wants it because there's already so many.
right.
well, that's the problem is because for all its issues, you know, Fortnite did popularize it,
Mm-hmm.
and it is a major player in the scene still. And what people seem to forget is you're not going to be the Fortnite killer.
No,
Yeah.
Fortnite is going to be the Fortnite killer.
Right. We've been
And it ain't yet.
we've been doing the same old shit for like what, 40 years now? Maybe longer.
I think like
Genesis does, but Nintendo don't. Remember that?
I
But
mean
by
like
the way, Fortnite is the best Fortnite killer because they literally kill their game like every 2 years and bring it back as something different.
right. They're at least reinventing it a little bit. Like there's some flex. Like I don't fucking play Fortnite, but like I've started to develop this strange grudging respect for it.
I think Fortnite is fucking cool. I think
listen,
it's
it's-
synonymous with video games going forward.
This,
I agree.
this-
Well,
It probably
like,
is. It's not. It's
The only
it's
reason
here's the thing.
the
Yeah,
only
Joe.
reason the only reason I resent Fortnite is because it makes it hard to talk about video games that are not Fortnite.
I don't care about it. It's like if people say you don't play Fortnite, I go, yeah, I played like literally the thousands
but
and
that's-
thousands of other
Right,
games that
but here's
exist.
the thing: it's hard to talk about because nobody's playing those other games because they're too busy playing fucking Fortnite.
It's fine.
It's funny you bring that up because we had we're trying to do our windows, right? So we had a guy come over and he saw my setup. He's like, "Oh my god, I love this place." He's like, and he saw the camera and the lights. He's like, "You play video games?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "What, Fortnite?" And I was like, "Nah, I
Yeah.
don't." He's like, "Oh," and just went on
Like,
with
I
his
don't know
own.
anything
I
else.
don't know any other video game.
But you know
Whatever.
what? How many of your parents called your whatever system a Nintendo?
You know,
Right.
here's
It's
the
why I'm
thing:
totally okay.
how
I'm used to it.
many different video games were on that Nintendo?
Yeah, but Joe, I'm so used
but they
to it.
were
I don't
all
give a
Mario.
shit. I'm not gonna take it like as some great fucking strife. Like who give a fuck if
I'm
nobody
not
knows what I'm
saying I'm
playing?
not saying it's great strife. It's just
I
I,
get
can't
what
talk
you're
about
saying.
video games with children anymore.
Yeah,
and I work with
because-
children, and I want to talk to them about my hobby, and they like video games too, but they only like Fortnite.
Well, for the most part, when we were growing up,
Generation,
the people who were older that liked video games did not like the games that we were playing.
yeah,
They
And Joe,
Um,
You want to talk about adventure? No,
Joe,
get
you
the
guys,
fuck out of here.
you want that guy's playing Galaga? Like,
Joe,
You know?
the problem is you're in middle school.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah, that's the problem.
It's
My
that-
kids are playing other shit.
Dude, I used to talk about. I used to be able to talk about video games with elementary school kids. Come on, there is
It's
one.
alright,
There
yeah.
is one kid I could talk to about like this. It's really funny. He started singing fucking the karaoke from Yakuza.
Whoa.
Yeah.
we got kids
I-
at school
I-
busting out Baka Mitai.
No, he was singing.
No.
He was singing Judgment.
Wow.
It's not even
Yeah.
a popular one.
No, he wasn't singing Baka Mitai. He was singing.
But see, but
I'm
that's-
like,
that's a-
dude, I started. It was in the middle of like an assignment, like where I had to be quiet, and he starts humming it, right? And I couldn't help myself. I finished. I was finishing it.
But see, now you get those diamonds in the roughs.
Yeah,
Yeah, suddenly it's worth it.
That is
Fortnite,
true,
But now
yeah.
you had that one fucking kid
That one
who's
kid.
singing Judgment.
Yeah, yep.
You're like, all right,
all right, like, you're my boy.
you.
Yeah,
Look, I had a similar experience. It was comic related though, right? I'm like walking by, the kids are. It's Friday. It's actually Mr. Nissen's full day of being in charge of all the classes because my co-teacher was away for break, and like they were finishing up this assignment. So like a bunch of them were on task, so I didn't have to like do too much, thank God. But like I'm walking past, and one of the girls talking to the other girls like, "Yeah, Dick Grayson's the best Robin." Just this, like Nightwing is the man. And I turn around and I stop, and I'm like. I turn around. I'm like,
I can't get into this.
I can't ignore this. No, I went over there.
Is Dick Grayson really the best Robin?
he has the best ass.
I think Dick Grayson is better as Nightwing.
I agree, and that's what I said. I'd say Tim Drake's the best Robin.
Tim Drake, yeah, I will agree with that.
I said that, like, but if you're
He's
counting
so good
them
as a
in
Robin,
the
he upgraded.
Yes,
Like,
that is the appeal of Nightwing. Is that Nightwing
Right.
is a Robin graduate.
yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
right.
Technically, all the Robins are Robin graduates.
True,
some are dead,
but I
some
think
are dead.
among them, Dick Grayson is probably the most successful,
Yeah, he definitely is. I mean,
And
especially
has
if you guys are reading.
and he's got a great ass, and you got your head all the way up it.
Well, I mean, great ass aside, honestly, if you're not reading Tom Taylor's Nightwing run right now, what are you doing with your life? Because it's the best thing DC Comics has done in years.
I'm playing Persona, and
That's what you're doing in your life. And maybe Grand Blue,
let's give it a month or so. I don't know if you're still on it in a month or so. I see you playing Helldivers more. Where do you have Grand Blue?
Yeah,
on?
it's like, dude,
DC.
we've all got stuff we want each other to play, and we're all doing different shit.
Mm-hmm.
mean,
I
like,
feel I should
was-
text you next time I'm on Tekken, Joe. We should play some matches.
Yeah, it's like I'm playing Tekken, you're playing Helldivers, you're playing
I'm
I'm
playing
playing
Hell-
everything. I'm playing everything.
Yeah,
I was absolutely not interested in Helldivers, but
It's good.
I will say that if there is a possibility for a 4-player game of that to happen, I will get it.
I think
Bro.
there is. Yeah,
Well, Tim messaged me earlier. Tim's like, "Yo, we gotta bring some liberty." I'm like, "Oh boy." But Dre, if you want to get on Helldivers, bro, yo, it's
I actually don't really want to,
you should though. It's fun.
but
playing
I think
stuff with your
that
friends is
playing
fun.
it is interesting enough that if I had the 3 people to play it with, I would play it as the
Yeah.
4th player.
I don't play with anybody else other than people I know.
yeah, same. I haven't played with berries yet or anything like that.
Why would you? Why would you?
No, and there's enough people that we know who are playing the game right now. Thank God.
Right.
So
Right, I've been looking for a reason to drop in on your Discord calls. There, you know, I see you howling around all the time. I'm like, I want to drop in, but I don't want to be that.
jump
guy.
in, Joe. Always jump in, dude.
Okay,
You should always jump in, dude.
All right.
You're always welcome to jump in. Don't ever
Okay.
think otherwise. Even if you're not playing the same game, you can at least watch us what we're playing, like so you can see. You know, like come in, come be social, dude. Don't worry. You're always welcome.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
He's lying. Don't do it. He's lying. It'll be weird.
It would be weird.
No, it won't. It won't be weird at all.
No, those guys, they love me over there.
They
I'm
fucking
saying,
love Joe.
It'll be weird.
Come on.
They love Joe. They love Theo. Like, I think Dre's all right.
That's
They prob-
right.
They
None
prob-
of them knows who I am
they,
anyway.
they probably love your cat.
Mhm.
Who you
Actually,
should
don't
Huh?
know who you're playing. Well, obviously Tim. I know Tim, but
Yeah.
I don't know who else you're playing with if they would know me. Or
Yeah, you do.
Yes, I mean,
Mm.
what?
You know all of them. You know Randall.
Well, fuck that guy.
There
There
it
you
is.
Well,
I was trying to
fuck
figure out how to
Randall.
work
Why
that
would I
in.
wanna-
Yeah.
You don't know my buddy Z. He's the only one you don't know.
Okay.
He's
Why
the one I
does he
play a
have
lot
Betsy,
with.
right?
You met Z once, yeah. He's Olga's brother.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, you know Z.
Right.
Sure.
Hey,
Like you met him like a long time ago, but yeah.
maybe it's
now
time to
that
go
we're
back.
getting into the personal doxing portion of the,
There's
Oh,
no
we're just
justice
talking
put out
about
there.
people we know. Come on.
Right.
This
Z,
is just-
Z is a letter.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't say use his real name.
but I think that's a good step. Good.
You all right?
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I feel like
I'm
we
having
can
a
talk
stroke.
about.
Okay.
Well, look,
I mean,
there's-
don't say that.
Look, I'm gonna say this. There's one thing we're excited about. We know what that is. That's out in less than a week.
Days.
5 days. 5 days. I'm probably not gonna be able to play till the weekend, but that's okay because right into the veins, baby.
I'm going to be playing it as soon as I
Mhm.
can. I don't know when that will be because Final Fantasy has bad words in it now, so I can't
Mhm.
play it around Alex too much.
Aw.
Yeah.
And like,
16 was a very hard game to play around now.
I saw the beach scenes.
Yeah.
I saw that shit. You know, I saw that shit.
Of course you did.
Well, I don't care if he sees nude bodies or
Oh, okay.
semi-nude
Well,
bodies.
good. You got your priority straight. Just as long as he's not using the F word.
I don't want to subject him to
You don't
a
want-
lot of
yeah,
violence,
you don't wanna
and I
be-
don't want to subject him to a lot of language, but like
you don't want him to be sharping "fuck the police" on your TV.
that would also we don't want that.
Fuck DA, duh, police.
Don't get it twisted. He can spell.
I know.
Yeah,
He would
but
never get
does
caught.
like
He would never get caught misspelling something. Yeah.
He would be like, that's not spelled right, and then he
Yeah.
would erase it.
How's his
Okay.
how's his punctuation? Does he punctuate?
Yes, he does.
Good.
That's not surprising. His reading comprehension is like amazing, so I'm
Yeah,
not surprised
yeah,
his
there's-
writing's good too.
Yeah.
There is one more game we could probably all play together on stream at some point. Not just Helldivers.
Not just Baldur's Gate 3. We can also do that.
Well, this one's a little cheaper.
Oh, okay.
It depends.
Fucking-
Do I already have it?
Is it Pal World?
I don't know. No. Do you have you guys played Lethal Company?
Oh,
I'm not playing
yeah,
that
I'm not
game.
playing Lethal Company. No.
I don't even know what that game is. I've heard of
It-
it, but I know nothing.
It just
about
looks like
it's a chaos generator.
Phasmophobia game.
It's a chaos generator, but it's fun.
It's,
Oh.
It is fun in its chaos generation.
it's
like
one
when
of
you're
those
playing with a
games
bunch
I
of
that-
thought it was
friends.
Left 4 Dead, honestly.
Now, when you're playing with a bunch of friends and like it's just like the chaos that happens, like it's the game itself is kind of meh, but like all the chaos that like extends from playing the game makes it fun.
Hmm.
It's kind of like how Among Us is like that,
Yeah,
where it's like Among
it's
Us is like
kinda
the
like-
chaos of Among Us makes it fun.
Kind of heard the same thing about.
Yeah,
Lethal
it's very-
Company.
it's-
I was not expecting it to look like this at all.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, it looks like garbage.
Yeah.
no, I
like-
just wasn't. I really thought it was a Left 4 Dead type of
No,
thing.
the game is it's like I said, it's if you're playing with like the right people, it's just hilarious. Like if you want to like a funny example of what I'm talking about, like there's a thing in there called the mimic. Okay, and the mimic will like obviously like copy one of your teammates, okay? And it will if you talk to it, it will answer you using a recorded voice line that you have said already.
That's pretty okay.
It will talk to you. Or
Hey,
like
who turned out the lights?
right, like hey, like Z, is that you? Like, nah, bro. And then it'll just fucking eat you. And it's like, oh my god, like it's crazy. Like the game is wild. It's
Yeah.
a fucking wild ass game.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I've seen some like wacky shit from it. Yeah.
Why? Like, if anything, like Max played it with the boys, and it's hilarious. That shit is funny.
Yeah, I'll stick to with Helldivers.
Yeah. But if you guys want,
I would
the
rather spend
Helldivers
money
is
on
much
that
more
than-
fun.
than
Helldivers
that.
is much
I
more
already
fun.
own it, so
Oh boy, we're gonna start that shit up after let's end this podcast. And I want to
Yeah.
bring some.
I'm actually pretty freaking hungry.
Yeah, I gotta get some water too.
I have nothing in my
hungry.
kitchen because I don't have a kitchen anymore,
That's unfortunate.
or a living room,
tired.
or even a
Use the
refrigerator,
bathroom.
or
I'm
pantry.
kind of dying here.
Yeah. All right.
Well, Dre, only you can set us free. So
Oh, well, 2024 off to a really, really good start.
Rocking
yeah.
start.
crushing it. 2 months in, like what's
Yep.
happening?
And only good stuff on the horizon. Well, cool looking stuff on the horizon. Who knows?
Absolutely.
This is like each of us had like at least 2 games to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
two
I mean,
two like
Theo-
big games I've been playing a lot of too.
Theo played all of them.
Right.
I barely
You
said
got
a
to
word
put,
about
like,
any of them.
No
I
time
was
into
letting you
like
guys
most
talk
of them.
about them. Jumped in here and there.
Oh man, it's so good.
All right, well, this is a Discord call, so this
Mhm.
could be on YouTube. I don't know. It's
It'll
like
be on YouTube.
2
I
hours
imagine.
long, so maybe it will be, maybe it won't be.
You're right.
You all right over there?
Is that your cat?
Yeah, he's
Is that your cat, Galron? You should have named him Galron.
no.
You know why? You know I should have named him
Why?
Galron?
Why?
Because he's a Klingon.
Try to get us out of here.
SoundCloud.
Look at him.
But,
I know he's in the corner. You can see him.
We have to put this on YouTube now.
Absolutely.
Spotify, that's one of them, right?
Come on,
Spotify, yes.
Knock off, knock it off, knock it off, knock it off, knock it off. Yeah, let's go. Yeah.
Try to get me out of here, please. I need to go stop my cat.
Yes.
Oh boy! Wait!
I fucking
I
hate
really
you
need
guys.
to use the bathroom, but I gotta see this.
Oh my god, no,
Here
I
it
gotta get him.
is.
Stop him.
Here it is.
Here. No. Come here, you little goblin. There you go. Hi, my goblin. Yes.
Party pooper.
This is my life now.
All right, well, I guess with that, there's nothing else to say but 4205 cast off.
Later.